Hey there, friendlies. How's up? How is up? I had something I wanted to talk about tonight, but my phone is telling me that I may be under an epic thunderstorm tonight. And if that happens and the power goes out, then I will suddenly go poof. So I figure I'm not wasting any of my saved up subjects on a night when I might just sort of go poof. So we're just going to chit chat. We're going to talk. I'm going to find the YouTube page that this video is on right now so that I can pop open the chat and so that I can make sure that I'm actually broadcasting out into the universe. Live. It's alive. What a stupid thing to say, Jess. There we are. Okay. New pinned chat. I don't even know what that means, but I'm not paying attention to it right now. So how are every single one of you? I want to say two things. If you're liking this little chit chat that we're having at any point tonight, I invite you to hit that thumbs up. Second is the usual housekeeping. If you're watching us time shifted to tomorrow or next week, then thank you. That means a lot to me as well. Who do we got? We got Russell. Russell in the house. Hello, monsieur. 10 bombs here. Nice. Nice to see you. Longest quest. From the Books Festing, maybe. I'm pretty sure I've seen that name somewhere, but not on my channel. So, how's it going? Welcome to the show. Simon, salut monsieur, comment ça va? LT Survival, salut monsieur, comment ça va? Il y a deux francophones ici ce soir. I need to have a countdown. I missed the first 30 seconds of whatever you said. It's okay. It wasn't worth it anyway. Who else do we have here? It's weird because the see, YouTube has changed the way the chit chatty works. It was on top chat instead of live chat, so I'm actually way further behind than I thought I was. Chris Garland is here. How's it going? Hike with Mike. Hey, Ian the Web Lord. What a great group we got here. We got Grace is here. Nice. Nice. Oh, was the audio gone for a minute? I have no idea. But yes. I do want to do one little thing here. Copy that to the clipboard. Man, it's like I am family free tonight. I'm all alone, and I still couldn't get here on time with everything nice and organized. How funny is that? It's not funny. It's sad. It's really sad. I'm sad about it. Boo! Let's move that over there. Doesn't matter because that's the same browser anyway. So what's everyone doing? I'm going to be on vacation at the end of this week, Friday until the 6th of September. I have massive hopes that I'll actually be able to get something done while I'm on vacation. I got a couple of projects I want to get off the ground. Some stuff that's been waiting to be done around here. I tried to get a little campsite organized, but nope. Everyone I know who's actually successfully gotten a campsite reserved like back in October, November. So maybe some day hikes, but I got to get into the woods. And I have at least one daughter who completely agrees with me on that. Let's pour a little beverage, shall we? Now, I don't see Serge here, so this pour might actually go well. Nope. Shoot. When the hell did I ever say shoot? I'm a shit. Kinda. Whoops. Doesn't matter. We're all friends here. Yeah, I blew the pour anyway. Oh well. It's okay. It's all right. Russell's probably like, dude, I can pour better than that. Actually, he drinks that straight out of the can, I think. Can't believe that went in. that was on camera, it sure as hell wouldn't have. Hey, Jonathan Millie's here. How's it going? Oh, Raspberry Rock. Russell got his port glasses. Was that on my live stream or yours where you ordered those? I think it was on mine, wasn't it? Like, yeah, because I remember, who was it who had one? Was it Mal? And we were all like, woo, that's so cool. Now, you got the port glasses, but did you crack open the port? LT has got a special rum. I got Vilain Forêt. This is a strong beer. It's only 6%, but I'm not interested in anything stronger than that. From Les Vilains Brasseurs in Joliette, Quebec. Oh, it's an IPA. I wish I'd noticed that before cracking it. Our West Coast IPA features a heavy doses. Oh, man, this is a translation error. Our West Coast IPA features a heavy doses of pine with hints of resin, citrus, and stone fruit. Forêt is medium-bodied and well-balanced with a refreshingly bitter finish. So it's an IPA, but it sounds like it's not going to suck. Pouring carefully so that I do not goosh all over my keyboard. So yeah. Yeah, brought his favorite port. I remember you texted me that you messaged me that you bought some, and I wasn't sure if you were going to open it or not. You said you were, actually, now that I'm remembering. Mark Putmans, salut monsieur. Longest quest is on your Dos Equis. Man, I haven't had one of those in years. Like years and years. I generally these days drink, like, the darker the better in terms of the beer. Big Guinness guy. I like stouts. I like porters. Summertime, I like it to lighten up a little bit. Raspberry Rock asks me if I'm the grammar expert. Well, I do make my living writing. That makes me the next best thing. You get what I'm laying down? There we go. Just making sure. Jonathan, I don't always drink beer, but when I do, it's not Dos Equis. You know, let's not be hating, okay? In the glass tonight for later, I have, this is a Japanese whiskey. This is a Nikka coffee grain whiskey. Nikka coffee grain. Yeah, there's a coffee grain and there's a coffee malt. Not named after coffee, the drink, named after the coffee still. Coffey. I'm just making sure I've got the name completely right. Yep. Nikka coffee grain whiskey. Here is the link from the Master of Malt page. Accept all cookies. I do like some cookies. Yes, yes. Man, you know what I would like? Nikka. Yeah. Boom. There we go. Nikka coffee grain whiskey. That's the American price. Evidently, here in Quebec, it's $92 a bottle. Whoa. Go away. I don't want you advertising to my peeps. So where are we going? LT is having Fortress rum. I've never heard of Fortress. Where's that from? Oh, Simon was asking what my opinion is of this beer. Well, okay, it's an IPA, so and generally IPAs make me dry heave, but it does have a nice resiny, piney, evergreen thing, which is a flavor profile that I really like. So it's a little too hoppy for me. I'm much more into malt, but it does it is a well-named beer. It does have a foresty thing happening that I'm finding compelling. So yeah. I'm not going to give it a 5 on 5. It's like a 3.75 on 5. Jonathan, you've got good taste. Bruichladdich is probably one of my top 5 distilleries. I have the classic laddie always in my rack. I look forward to someday being able to afford another Octomore. Port Charlotte, I have not actually tried. I've just managed to buy through an uncle one of the last 2 bottles of their Isla malt from 2010. So I'm going to go and get that at some point, but I'm not going to open it right away. I want to save it for a special occasion. Hey, Russell just gave me $10 so I can buy that bottle. Thanks, mister. Oh, it's from Nova Scotia. Nice. Okay. I just tried a Nova Scotian rum recently. I think it was called 5 Fathom. I think that was Nova Scotia. A lot of stuff happening in Eastern Canada on the booze front. That's for damn sure. Just let me double check something here. We don't need the coffee malt window open anymore. We don't need my drive open. What the hell's up with that? 14 watching, 9 thumbs ups. What's going on, kids? It's because I'm being boring and talking about booze, right? Just making sure that I'm not slipping backwards in the side chat. Are any of you guys camping this summer? I know that Russel's not because he lives in the beautiful forest. Damn it. But I kind of want to find a new place to hike. Like we've done certain parks like a couple of times now, and there's LT's got a new knife. Of course you've got a new knife. Did I show you the new knife I got? I showed most of you, but I wasn't sure if LT was there, and I didn't bring it out of the back room, so I guess I can't. That's frustrating. I will find it on Amazon. It's a knife that Alain Belso introduced me to. Not in person because the plague, but he had just bought it and he gave it a really good review, like a private sort of, he said it was really good, it was lasting well. And so I bought it. I'm going to do a review of it and then I'm going to give it away. Hike with Mike says, back to work, no camping this month, and besides, got to deal with another tropical storm heading towards me again this weekend. Yeah, I find it surprising that people can still live there. It's like there are so many storms and this and that, and climate change is going to sink half the state. And like, holy crap, I would just spend all my time stressed. I have some in-laws who just sold their place in New York and retired down to Florida. I always like to say that, excuse me, I always like to say that my wife is of Haitian extraction, and every Haitian in Montreal knows someone in like Florida and New York. And every Haitian in New York knows someone in Montreal and Florida, and every Haitian, you know what I'm saying? Like the diaspora is like Montreal, New York, and Florida. So we know many people sort of throughout both of those states. Hey.
Good evening.
How's it going?
Okay. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm having a really rough week, but I'm optimistic that yeah, work is really on my ass this week. But it's after 4:30 on Friday, I'm on vacation. So if I can make
Excellent. Something to look forward to there.
Yep, exactly. Grace is saying I keep waiting for not sweltering heat and high humidity. Man, I went for a bike ride at around 7:30 tonight because the temperature was down to 28 degrees Celsius, and I had to get some exercise in. It was stankin' hot today. I did not go outside until later.
In lovely Sweden, the weather is back to more or less perfect, about 20 degrees.
See?
A little rainy, but otherwise pretty nice.
Damn it. You got that Scandinavian magic going on. How hot does it ever get? You're not in this.
We have had 30s over the last couple weeks because it's been unseasonably hot.
And you're not in the south part of Sweden, right? You're sort of.
I'd say I'm still pretty southern. I mean, anyone who's south of Stockholm is still south, really.
Okay. But like, you know how in Ontario, northern Ontario doesn't really start all that far north? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it kind of that kind of thing?
Just, Central Ontario starts in the Greater Toronto area, so I take your point. There's a sign on Yonge Street that says Central Ontario Travel Area, which is pretty funny, actually.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that that makes no sense about this country, right? Like you've got Southern Ontario, Central Ontario, and then foomp, Northern Ontario, which is, starts at around the same spot as Southern many other provinces. But if you also look at it, Central Canada is Quebec and Ontario. Central Canada should be Ontario and Manitoba, for God's sakes. You know?
I think in Sweden you're not north until you're at least a couple hours north of Stockholm.
Okay. Fair enough.
And if you're within 2 or 3 hours of the southern end of the country, which I am, you're pretty much south.
Right. Right. I'm trying to hold on a second. There we go. I thought I had signal.
Russell would like to talk knives.
Yeah. Yep. And I think we're going to start that very soon. Louis also wants to talk knives. So I'm sending him an invite. I sent Russell an invite on the Book of Faces. If anyone wants to come on and talk knives, briefly or for a little while, I'll send you an invite. Grace says, haven't had any rain to amount to anything, so you have. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. Oops. Russell says LT has new knives. Yes, and I know that you only come on at 10, and I'm okay with waiting till 10 to sort of open it up to the general chit chat. It's not, this morning I was like, here's what we're going to talk about tonight. And then my phone said, you're going to have a rainstorm, and with your luck, it's going to kill your power. And so I was like, no, okay, forget it. I'm not going to use up a subject on a live stream that may get, zapped. Hey, Zach is here. Yeah, we're going to talk knives. Zach, have you ever actually come on screen and talked on one of my live streams? I don't think you have. I said live screams.
It's an interesting idea that the weather will affect your internet usage. It's like there's internet weather, which is an interesting idea.
This is one of the reasons why I can't wait to get a 5G phone. I got the damn vaccine, and my phone's not 5G.
Yeah, LT says he still needs a link.
Oh, I sent it to him. LT, I sent it to you through Signal. But yes, Zach, we're going to talk knives because LT's got some knives. And I figured maybe at one point, if there's like 2 or 3 people on screen while you guys are chatting, I'll just sneak off and get my new knife. The one which I will not be keeping after I review it. I got stuff to shoot, man. I got episodes to do.
Nice.
I just got to get me a new computer so I can edit them the way I like to edit, you know? But, Zach, you tried on the first StreamYard call, but your equipment was ancient. Okay. All right. Gonna sneeze. Nope, I'm not gonna sneeze. So what are you doing over there these days?
I'm taking it fairly easy. I'm sort of in the opposite situation from you, which is my vacation is coming to an end. Our autumn semester at my university starts in about 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an administrator, which means for the 2 weeks before it starts, I have to do a lot of stuff. So I'm trying to get in the very last bit of relaxing that I can.
Right. Now, where you are you in the same kind of situation as like Martin or Muskoka? Nate, like where you're a walk away from being able to paddle, or do you have to kind of drive?
I'm about 200 meters from 2 lakes right now.
Wow, that sounds like a bucket of wind.
Which is real nice, yeah.
Yeah. I'm nowhere near being able to just sort of jump into a canoe and go because of where I live, but it sounds heavenly to me.
That was the exact reason I decided to have this particular place.
Yeah.
I'd be out all the time if it were not for the fact that I am not in the best of health at the moment. But I'm hoping that's temporary.
Right. Right. You know, here's something interesting from Grace. Got my new internet a couple of weeks ago and it's been crap. Laid the router on its side and suddenly it's golden. I thought routers were omnidirectional, but whatever, it's working.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that is.
If it has an antenna and it's fixed, I could see that. If you orient the antenna differently.
Yeah. I still haven't I need to get one of those Nest routers or whatever it's called, mesh routers, but other things keep taking up my money. You know, those ones that are multi-part routers, so you can.
Okay. Yep. So you get better coverage all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm glad you're getting the opportunity to get that beautiful boat of yours into the water. I think I'm gonna have to get one.
It's the thing to do.
It is the thing to do. I mean, my plan was to get a secondhand one this year, and then just sort of save up for. Here's the thing. I've sort of talked about this before on the live stream, so I don't want to bore most of you again. But I have like my Target Swift kind of configured, my Target Novacraft configured, and what's the company that makes Scott? Abitibi Company.
Yeah, Abitibi Co.
I've got 3 or 4 sort of configured, and I had them printed out, but I don't know what happened to the printouts. I like to sort of look at them every now and again and sort of dream. And it's funny because the guys at Abitibi Company, they start way more affordable. Not way, but they start at a lower price than the Swift do. But without even trying, you're into Swift money. Like you hit $4,000 without even trying on these things, because I'm not 20 anymore, so I want the lightest boat I can afford. Do you know what I'm saying? So like right there,
I hear you.
And I'm the kind of guy, I want it to look good. I want to get the fizz. I want to get the fizz just looking at it.
Well, there are some very light, very fancy boats now, so you can certainly do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like one of those old fogies who tells you the story about walking uphill both ways to school in the snow. Like people are talking about 40-pound boats. I'm like, well, my God, I remember what a 70-pound boat was, the state of the art.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Alain's here. I was just talking about you because I'm gonna, when I've got a couple of people on screen, I'm going to sneak off and get that knife that I bought that you had told me about because we're going to talk about knives. We're going to talk about knives once we're done talking about paddling. But yeah, it's like I spent my whole life dealing with boats that are 70 pounds. right? 60 pounds. To me, I've never, aside from that time when you and I went to Ottawa and looked at some boats at that paddle shack,
Yep, the
thing.
Trailhead Paddle Shop.
Yeah. Aside from that, I have never seen a 40-pound canoe in my life. Right?
Like, I would argue they're a fairly recent phenomenon. It's the last 10 years, and it's really swift with some really modern construction techniques and layups that have made that possible.
Yeah, they've definitely been leading the way. It's just, so many of the other companies are working to catch up, though. It's a really good time to have a lot of freaking money and to want a canoe.
Yeah.
We're living in like the golden age of very expensive boats.
And also in terms of hull shapes and styles, there's just a lot more choice now than there used to be.
Yeah.
It used to be prospectors and small variations on prospectors, and now it's all kinds of things, which is it's very cool, really.
Yeah. The thing that throws me, like, I always have two forces. First of all, I just want to say, Zach, congratulations on the new to you car.
Wow.
You know, my wife's
5-liter V8. Very nice.
Yeah. My wife's aunt had one of those. Actually, I don't know what's happened to it now. But anyways, LT is here. Salut, monsieur.
Hey, salut, mister. Je suis sur mon vieux téléphone. Je suis pas capable de me loguer in parce que j'ai pas de signal sur ma page.
Ah non?
Mon nouveau téléphone, il veut pas se loguer in. Faut comme je le fasse parler, puis il peut pas loader mon compte, puis être capable d'aller chercher le lien.
OK.
Fait que là, je me vois en retard sur l'écran là.
Right.
But all's well that ends well.
Yeah, exactly. I just want to say, I just want to say hi to Cliff. There's a fat fox here. There's a fat fox right here too, but I'm working to fix that. Simon says he once lifted a 22-pound kayak. It's weird because I've done a lot more kayaking than canoeing, but it's always been sort of, I don't know if they're any good because I always just rented. Somebody's giving me some echo. Is that you, LT?
I think so.
I'm only on my phone, so my computer is shut down.
But you're not using headphones, eh?
Nope.
See if in StreamYard you've got a Tenenbaum. What's that toggle called? Echo cancellation.
Something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Cam mic. Audio. It's on.
It's on. That's weird. Simon says to LT to contact him privately. He'll help you with this.
Is that better?
I think so. Yeah, that sounds better.
Although we don't have a good view of the ceiling, but otherwise.
Yeah, well.
Such a nice ceiling.
Yeah, old. I'm trying to plug in the
headphones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And only one works, so.
Okay, but you only need one.
Yeah. Just for you to see the Fortress rum. But that when I was in Nova Scotia a couple of years back. And it was a limited run. Barrel number 83. It's aged in Louis Bourg Fortress. That's why they name it Fortress rum.
Fortress rum.
So in barrel in what? In and oak oak barrel. Yeah.
Cliffs says try lifting a very awkward 60 or 70-pound aluminum canoe. Outdoor Dauber has an aluminum boat, like a vintage one. Tenenbaum, do you remember how old he said it was?
I do not recall.
It's a Grumman or something. No, it's not a Grumman.
I can tell you that Grummans have not really changed over 50 years. It's pretty much the same boat.
Yeah, and there's no reason for them to change, right? Because if you're buying a Grumman today, it's because you want that classic Grumman magic. I would not buy a Grumman. But every time I see one, because when I was young, there were a lot of them around. So every time I see one, I sort of feel that pull. But it's not where I want to throw my money right now.
It's actually the boat that I have the most experience in, a 17-foot Grumman. They weigh about 80 pounds. Before the advent of Royal X, they were the toughest boat around. So they were very popular for rental purposes and for taking. Oddly enough, for whitewater, even though they're terrible, they stick to rock. But if your choice was either that or fiberglass or wood, that was the choice.
Yeah. I just want to point out what Chris Garland just said. I'd love to try building one of those geodesic aerolite design boats. I think they're somewhere between 12 and 50. I have never even heard of that. If one of my mods isn't already URLing that, I'm going to look it up after we're done here. So, yeah, I want to take a look at that when we're done here. I mean, I pretty much know what I want, but it would be stupid of me not to look at everything, right? You know, it's funny because when I was, before I burnt out of tech the first time, so like 25 years ago, excuse me, I was making a funk ton of money for a 20-something kid. And my plan was to buy a French-built catamaran, a 32-foot Privilège, and live on that. And I had like these pamphlets on my counter. I was like, that's what I'm going to do, man, living the life. And then one day I woke up, got out of bed, didn't recognize the guy looking at me in the mirror, and realized I had burnt out. And obviously I don't have the 32-foot catamaran because they were like $295,000 even back then, American dollars. But I do love things that float. I do love things that float and do not depend on motors. In the same way as I love two-wheeled transportation that does not require a motor.
A wind or human-powered boat represents a certain kind of freedom.
Yeah, absolutely.
The ability to go places when you want to.
Yeah.
That is fun.
Exactly.
Mind you, I think that living on a boat full-time in Quebec would make for some cold winters.
It would. And, you know, like, the thing is, working the way I do now, right? I don't need to be in Quebec to do my work. The missus does have to be here in Montreal, though, because she has to go to the office every single day. So, but like the idea was, look, the idea was not well thought out. I perfectly admit that. And if I had bought the damn boat, I probably would have sold it by now because everything costs $1 million. But you know, I'm just taking a look. Simon did find the URL for those geodesic boats. Oh yes, I've seen these before. Yeah, they're light as hell. I'm kind of thinking, like, I wonder what the longevity of them is, though.
If you know how to build them and you can patch them indefinitely, you just have to keep fixing the skin, I guess, mainly.
And the little, yeah. But yeah, there's a real magic to being able to lift your boat with one hand and sort of swing it over your shoulder, right? Chris, I see Chris has I would try my hand at the Snowshoe 12. Comes in at a whopping 13 pounds. Just a fun little project boat. I would love to build a cedar strip canoe. I've said that before, and I will say it again because it's like it's there, scratching at the back of my head. Just buy a kit. Just buy a kit.
Hey, Jesse.
Yeah.
I've got signal on my computer now, so maybe nice. I'll be able to transfer on my computer if you resend the link to the signal, because it doesn't want to transfer the old conversation.
Okay. All right. I'll resend it in 2 minutes.
Okay.
All right.
That's for your safety and security.
Of course.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
I'm linking the freaking phone to my computer.
Yeah.
It works every time.
Do you want me to resend it now or wait a minute?
As you wish.
Whoops. Freaking Windows. Wrong key combo.
Right. Oh, okay. Yes. I might just be able to join you on the computer.
Oh, we could get LT times 2 here.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna off one and get on the other one. Stand by.
Right. Standing by. Boom.
Yeah.
Wow, that was fast.
Yeah. Gotta love that.
Yeah. Look at that lens flare.
Oh yeah.
It's like your Star Trek episode. Although with the Jedi shirt, I guess I shouldn't be saying that.
Yeah, no, the Academy. Jedi
Yeah, okay.
Academy.
Right.
Yeah, well, sorry for the lens flare. It's like Discovery. It's a new trend.
Yeah, it's like a Jar Jar Abrams movie.
Jar Jar Abrams.
Yeah.
Yeah. So cheers.
Cheers. So Tenenbaum, we're going to get on knives in a minute, but I just have a couple of questions. Now that you've had that canoe for what, like a year now?
It's been about a year. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there a lot of upkeep, or is it kind of?
I'm very happy with it. I didn't go with wooden gunnels because I know myself, so I went with aluminum. And I mean, there's really not much to take care of. There's the yoke, the seats. The body itself doesn't require much in terms of maintenance. So, yeah.
See, I want the wooden gunnels, but what I'm afraid of is when I'm gone, what happens to them when someone who's not as into like the pageantry of keeping his stuff sweet. You know what I'm saying?
So there's the thing. I mean, if you're going to have wooden gunnels, you ideally want to keep it indoors in the winter. And you want to keep it in a place that's not too cold in the winter.
Yeah. So I'm not going to do it. I love the look. I love the concept, but I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
And I think I'm saving some money if I don't do it.
Oh, aluminum gunnels are cheap, and obviously, if you go with Swift, the composite is expensive, but
yeah.
But that is that's indestructible. So that has its own appeal as well.
Absolutely. I just want to. Is Alain still here? Alain, do you want to actually show off some knives? Are you online, unscreenable tonight? I'm not even sure if he's still here. We'll chat while I wait for him to answer.
I have a few knives here, but they're not new. They're old.
It doesn't have to be new.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be new. Just show off your knives.
Where did I stop last time?
You had 3 new knives last time.
And which were?
There were 2 cheap folders. Affordable folders. And then there was something kind of cool, but I don't remember what it was. Like a classic or a custom. Yeah, no.
The Grenier? Nice. The Quebec-made knife?
Yes, that was it, yeah.
Yeah, made in Montreal, Grenier.
What's that handle made from? Like just a G10 or something, or is it?
Composite, not sure.
Like a phenolic plastic. It's one of those.
It's been made in 90-some, so the Micarta and those weren't very popular at that time. So
it's probably exactly what Tenenbaum was saying then.
Yeah, they're the kind of thing you'd find on a typical buck. I mean, it's indestructible.
Did I show you that?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
No. You show that again because that was cool.
Yeah, it's a fish knife.
Yeah.
And it's like one of those that you get in the gift shop. It's a lot I bought from a friend. So this one is from Chipagan. You would never expect to have that quality of a knife at a gift shop.
Yeah. So it's for like filleting a fish. Or gutting.
It's working gutting a fish, yes.
Yeah.
And you have the scale removal.
Yeah.
And probably the hook to get into some pike.
Yeah.
The important bottle opener.
Yeah, and you gotta have a bottle opener.
I mean, who goes fishing without bottles? And it's made by Stag from Ireland. So it's not a bad knife. And I got an older one that need to be refurbished. It has like a self-adhesive scale on it because it's all stainless. Lost its loop. And it has the same
okay. So that's another fish knife?
It's also a fish knife. That's a Richard from Sheffield, England. So this is a used one. It's an old one.
Mm-hmm.
I might put wood scale on it by cutting the bolster or simply redoing it completely because it's only clipped on. So it's a shell type scale. So
right.
Really cheaply made, but the knife is old. That's only appetizers, eh? You know that?
Yeah.
Oh, you know that, eh?
Of course I know
So
that.
did I show you the
LT? How long have I known you? How long have you been showing up on my live streams? I know that you've probably got like a backpack full of knives sitting there in the corner.
Just on my table there, I think there's 20.
Yeah.
The collection is getting high.
Yeah.
Did I show you the classical ones?
I don't remember. The case knives? Yeah.
Yeah. I had 4 of them.
Yeah.
Okay. That means these ones have been shown too.
See, I think what I want for my little pocket knife, for that the Nesmic trio I want to make, I think I want to get like a little case knife, but it has to be like one blade opening on either side rather than the 2 opening on the same side because I want it to match the Nesmic trio, the traditional, Alain is asking, but tell us if you tried that B1 Bushcraft knife yet.
The which one?
The B1 Bushcraft knife.
This sounds like a future video, but
the B1.
I wonder if that's the one that I bought. I'm waiting for yeah, I see something like that.
I think that was directed at you, Jess. That's your new knife.
Yeah.
I think he's right. I think that might be the new one. Haven't tried it yet because I haven't gotten to the woods.
Yeah.
But I'll be on vacation next week, so.
Look at you! I'm done with vacation. Only 1 week. I pulled out two new knife from the live stream last time. Yeah. Don't remember what I had.
What is that?
This is Anland. That's a Chinese.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Very reminiscent of a Benchmade.
Mm-hmm.
Most likely, there's kind
especially
of
the handle, eh?
The handle and the lock, and the blade shape as well.
Yeah. It's nice.
I have a Benchmade Freak right here, which is one of their newer ones. That's almost exactly looks just like that, more or less.
Oh, look at that!
I mean, it's got the rubber handle, but
yeah,
there's the same. It's the same kind of blade shape. It's got the axis lock.
It's crazy how similar they are.
Yeah. The Chinese been copying models for many years now, and they're making some modification to it.
Alain agrees. By the way, he says looks like a Benchmade.
Yeah,
I agree too.
I like this one. This one is I've been wearing it a lot and doing some work with it. What else do I have?
Hey LT, you want to hear something that is not going to surprise you? What? I have no idea where the pocket knife you gave me is right now. Again?
This one is basically a Spyderco.
Spyderco, yeah.
But that's a brother.
Is it a bird?
Nope.
No, it's not even a bird.
Brother. It's another Chinese type copy. It's pretty well made, though.
It may even be made in one of the same factories.
Most likely.
You never know.
Because, it's a backlog though, not a not the lock that the triad lock that the Spyderco using.
They still do some backlocks as well,
so it's not a bad one. This
not
one
many
I
though.
Really
right?
like some heft to it, and it's
See, I'm never sure what I want in a pocket knife at this point because part of me wants a knife with some heft, some girth to it, something that like lets me know that I've got a knife.
Well,
but when I'm putting it in my pocket, I want it to not bug me.
This one is pretty hefty, but it's a long, thin blade.
Yeah.
So it got some heft. It's pretty good in hand, though. You can grab it with the choil here, or go simply by the handle.
Zach says, I want a moose pattern pocket knife for the Nesmic trio. I think you might be right about that. I'm not familiar enough to say for sure, though. The moose pattern, that is the most Star Trek looking batleth kind of knife.
That's not a Star Trek looking knife. I got one that's even worse than that. I think I showed it to you when I went to
Next Generation era Star Trek. Yeah. I mean,
It's a copy. Again, it's a Chinese. Shigurov style or ZT. It's got that. Don't remember which one exactly. I posted it on my Instagram. So it's a knockoff. I've got another one also. That's from the. But this
I
one
just,
is hefty. I mean, it's heavy.
like, but that's sort of at odds with my desire to have something that doesn't bug me when it's sitting in the pocket. I want to point out, LT, what Zach said, that Brother Knives are putting out some really nice modern traditionals. And LT, Russell says, I need to start shopping on whatever sites LT is shopping on.
Well, you'll be disappointed because most of the Chinese knife folders will have to hit the border controls. So for Canada,
Yeah.
so it was Gearbest. They had a shit ton, if I can say that.
Well, it's too late now, isn't it?
Sorry, they have a loads of the makers of the knife. I haven't been on Gearbest for like 2 years since I left Montreal because I'm gonna be tempted. They were all about $20. So for Canadian, I mean it's a deal, $20 US. And if you're going to Canadian sites, you might pay like a Ganzo will come out at 50, 55, $60.
Yeah, it's a lot more.
A
It's a lot more.
lot more. Yes,
And it's a Chinese made knife. It's like,
it's still the Chinese made knife. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So, but my collection has been quite a lot. I bought a classical one because I had the other type of classical one.
you see what oh, yeah, I've got those.
The Opinel, yes.
Yeah, is that the number 8?
Yes, it is.
That's the classic, man. That's the one to get. Whenever someone's looking to get into those, I say you got to get the 8 because that's the classic.
It's the Knox version. We have a shop here in Quebec that now holds some quality knife, Benchmade, and others. And in my vacation, I gave myself a round trip to Chicoutimi, where we have a special store where he keeps a lot of high quality knife. He had no tops, which I intended to buy.
It's weird.
So well, no, because tops can't supply his distribution chain. He has to buy $10,000 worth of tops, and he has 2,000 in a box yet. Tops can't supply. They can't make enough.
Yeah. I was going to say those Opinel, when they come from the factory, they come sharp enough to split the atom. They are so sharp when they come.
Not so bad. Not so bad. Yeah, sharp.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
my last knife just cut me by just moving my head away. So
nice.
But when you have a new knife,
it's a danger.
I'll show you the Star Tricky one I've got. You've seen it, I think. If I can find it quickly.
Okay. But, you know, like the thing with these new knife laws and like newish, and I see Alain is sort of going in on them, is that the pocket knife I dream of owning is at Osborne. You know, the 940?
Yeah.
I want that knife like
in Canada.
Sorry?
It's available in Canada.
Yeah, they're expensive as hell, though.
And that's because of this ridiculous import regulation business.
Yeah.
I mean, somehow there's like an authorized channel that gets around it. But if you want to buy one yourself at a lower price, you can't pull it off.
That's why, like, if I can find one day, not right now, but if I can one day find a used one in good condition, I don't care if it's the one with the aluminum scales or the one with the carbon or whatever it is.
There's a new one that has about the same blade. I'm not sure what's the name. Prodigy? No, not Prodigy. Something. But you're still talking about $260.
Yeah,
at least.
Benchmades are not cheap these days.
No, they're really not cheap.
Yeah.
So here's the knife.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
It's a knockoff again, the Chinese one.
This knife is imported from Vulcan.
Yeah, and it's a gin. Sorry for my
gin and tonic.
Jin Junlang design. Okay. What's particular is the locking, the mechanism to open it. See that?
Whoa! Holy crap!
It's
Are
an
you
art
kidding me?
So you have to open this and finish it off.
And it's not a copy of anything. That's an actual.
Yeah.
Wow. Do that again.
Okay. If I want to close it, compress the back, and it fold.
You see, the tech lover in me thinks that is
Okay.
very, very schmexy.
It's very difficult to open one end.
So you can get it across the board then.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that one that definitely would be a gear Best Buy if you wanted to.
Yeah.
It's really mechanically to be able to move it.
It's like a transformer.
Yeah, it's like a
yeah.
transformer or like a Terminator or something.
But still, it retains the classical way the knife folds, and it has a nice blade on it. Surprisingly enough, it is quite sharp. So this is the number. Well, the number is a GL16010C. I don't remember which steel is it. I think it's one of those Chinesium stainless steel or something like that.
Right.
But it's most likely 8CR13. So,
Okay.
But it's not a bad knife. Not sure if the bolt are good, but
right. Zach says that his custom BHK feather stick cut him with a 90-degree spine. Yikes. Chris is asking about that one. He asks if you can open it one-handed, but I think that was before you showed how tough it is to open one-handed.
There's thumb stud, but I mean, I'm trying.
Yeah.
You got to depress this at one point. So you got to depress that part.
Right.
And engage the thumb, and then you can finish it off.
Right.
But
Zach says Benchmade came out with the 945 Mini Osborne. Like, I'm a classicist, right? I want the classic one. The metal scales, if I can afford it. The whatever carbon, whatever the other one is, if I can't. But the design is what I'm looking for. That classic Osborne design. But I'm gonna have to buy it used. There's no way I can justify, especially they're more expensive than they used to be, and I don't believe that I'm not going to be disappointed if I buy it brand new. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because at that kind of price, you expect it to be just a little bit of pixie dust on there. You expect it to flip it open and like fireworks go off and everything.
Surprisingly, with the talk I had with the guy at the Shikutsumi shop, which is a Swiss guy and from Sweden, and from Sweden or Swiss.
Does he sell knives or clocks?
No,
I was going to say, but my aunt has a problem with this too. She thinks that the place I live is the place with the good chocolate.
Switzerland. So
Swiss, okay.
Former military also, and he sells knife and he sells fur product.
Okay.
So the boutique is called L'Orignal Fringant.
Okay.
So how can you translate that? The
shooting.
Not the shooting,
moose?
but the dancing moose.
The dancing moose
would be closer. So it's kind of an odd shop, but he has high quality knives. He's got 2 knives that has less than 1,000 in the world, but the price around 1,000 and so
less than 1,000 of the knives in the world, more than 1,000 of the dollars in the store.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's he had one top spot was a tracker. The Tom Brown tracker.
I do not like that knife. I understand why it's designed that way, but I don't like the knife. I don't like the
That's why I didn't buy it. So,
and they're expensive too, though.
Oh yeah, no, 100 something.
Oh really? I thought they were more than that.
But it depends on the models. But the model I wanted was about 180 US, so it might be 2 something. So
right.
The one I went for is this make. It's
very nice.
Yep, it's made in what's made in
China.
Well, yeah, because they used to make it in Japan.
Okay.
So if you go somewhere and ask for those knives, you'll see prices around 500.
For the Japanese-made ones.
For the Japanese-made one, for the D2 steel. This one is a D2 made as the Japanese do it, same quality material, because you just transferred the line, but at lesser cost. So you talk about $129 or so.
Still a nice knife, a nice classic-looking design.
Yep.
Very classy, very plain, but in a good way.
And this one is the
Epicurean lines.
Yep, this one is the 40th anniversary. You see it there?
Yeah, I see it.
It's the first knife to ever survive the Army Surrey course in the U.S. Folder.
Zach knows exactly what you got there. He says, "Ooh, an Almar. I've never even heard of them before."
Oh yeah, yeah, me neither. And surprisingly enough, you pull one out from the thing, and there's a nick in the blade, and I'm looking at it there. Hopefully, it's not the only one.
Yeah,
there's another one. So that's what I bought. It's really neat.
It's a good-looking knife.
Oh yeah, with the engraving, with the 40 years here in the handle.
Yeah.
Can I get that in focus or so?
I find generally if you're buying Far East made stuff, if it's not trying to hide the Far Eastness, like that knife has a big old Chinese seal right on the blade and on the scales. And I find that when they're not trying to sort of hide that, the quality is a little better because they're not completely geared towards making
the under in South Carolina.
Yeah.
So they're an American knife, but made
with always with Asian influences and Asian manufacture. Like Spyderco, there was a time where Seki City, Japan, was the place where the best folders were made, and they had their production there for the 80s and the 90s.
Right.
Of course, it says now China on it.
Yeah.
So, but it's a nice one. It's a really nice knife. I've not worn it yet. The clip is stiff. It's a reversible.
Point up? Okay. It's a point up?
Yes.
Point up carry. And now is that reversible as well, or is it just reversible left to right?
Left, right.
Okay.
And it's assisted. So, okay, and you cannot close it like.
I was gonna say, how'd you get that into Canada?
Yeah, I was gonna say, holy crap.
Okay, custom will seize it if it's me ordering it from Elmar straight.
Yeah,
because they'll test it and say, "Oh, that's a gravitational or automatic."
Yeah.
But a company calls it and bring it in.
See, this is why the import regulation is ridiculous.
Well, it's also why they're getting so damn expensive.
That's not because it's ridiculous, because it's homemade regulation, interpretation of the law. But they have the trade tribunal in their own office. So when you say, hey, I want to bring that to the trade tribunal for a decision, well, it's left hand of the right hand, and they're saying, hey, no, it's not. You're right. So
I like to point out what Zach Fudge is saying. He says it's nice to see Almar move away from Aus 8 that they almost always used.
Yeah, there is a line.
Not a big fan of Aus 8 myself.
No, there is a line. Effectively, if you go to one of the dealer in Canada, I've seen a couple of Elmar in Aus 8. But this one's supposed to be D2 because it was D2 that passed the course. Because Aus 8 can't survive a course like that. Yeah. So it's supposed to be D2. Hopefully it is, because it's not marked on the blade itself. And it has a nice clank. Did you hear it? Or was I speaking?
Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah. It's a FRN scale. It feels great in hand. I have large hand.
Yep.
Jesse can vouch for that, and it holds well. So, yep.
Look, we're a minute to 10, so before Russell comes on, I'm just going to run and get my latest knife.
Oh yeah.
Talk amongst yourselves.
I'll make sure with the knife. You want to see more?
Oh yeah.
What do I have interesting? Did you ever saw you know the bucklight
Yes, I've seen them.
110 bucklight? Did you know there were a bucklight special?
I'm not familiar with that one in particular.
The difference is that
Huh.
here in Quebec we have Canadian Tire in Canada, and that's the Canadian Tire special.
Ah,
So it's kind of plastic, different plastic. This one is more plastic than FRN, so but it's thicker.
I bought my first real knife at Canadian Tire. It was a buck 119.
Classic choice.
And you see that's the plastic goes all the way in the back here.
Yep.
It's kind of stuck together. So
Or crappy tire, as we
Good old
generally
crappy
call
tire.
it.
So
but
yeah,
the blade is similar. It's almost identical, no choil. So
I like there to be a choil. So here's the knife that I recently picked up. This is the B1,
oh,
made in Ukraine. Yeah, made in the Ukraine. Very nice. Very.
Too fast.
Tip
When
it-
you pull the knife out of the sheath to show people, it's got to be slow. It's got to be sexy. You got to
Sorry,
have.
hold
like,
on. Let me try this
Oh.
again.
you got the number 4.
Baby. Oh.
There should be music in the background.
Oh.
Oh yeah. All right,
Okay.
so let me try that again.
Oh yeah.
Let me just sort of start it off. So I don't want to slice myself. Okay. Ooh, wait. Ooh, la la la. Ooh, oh. Ooh. Little coquettish. Ooh. Still a little bit of leather on the blade there because of the oil.
We'll wipe it off. Nice and slow though.
God.
That's the way of doing it.
One way.
So there it is. So yeah, this I don't know what the
wood.
the scales are made out of. It's a very plain wood, but it's very nice.
Yeah.
It's amazing what you can get for like $40 these days.
All right.
If you
40.
what was it, 49? I don't know. Alain, how much did these things cost?
I get a question though. For your sheaths, do you go with the I don't know what you call this, the flap that's held down by something? Or do you prefer just the no flap, just the straight in like just as
Well,
The thing is, if I had the Groman number 1, I would want that little. Actually, is it a tie on for the number 1?
show you.
tie?
I think he's got one.
This is a rivet or something, right?
Yeah, it's a popper. What the hell's it called?
It's
Chicago
tough to-
Bolt? No, Sam Brown. Whatevs. It's a British thing.
It's a stud. This
That's
one is the stud. Okay, that's the number 4.
Yeah,
If you don't have it, you'll lose the knife.
yeah, because the sheath is not. Yeah,
Because it's suspended.
yeah.
But the army one, this
It's
is
a
the
full
army one. So the army, it's made for jumping. So you
Yeah.
have basically the whole knife in the sheet. I'll be sexy too.
Ooh la, ooh la 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 la. He's
So-
still my beating heart.
It's more like a holster, classical gun holster flap.
Yeah.
But
it's interesting.
the trout, the navy ones is an open bulge on top.
Yeah.
So the problem with not having the flap, you need retention of the sheet.
Yeah, and that's where like a more classic bushcraft knife like this or like the woodlores, they don't need that because it's so
Yeah.
tight. So tight.
Well, it's a friction fit.
Yeah, it's a
and it-
friction fit. Like you
This
got to
one
really
is not
refund.
really tight, but it's still tight enough. So if I don't close the flap, I'm not losing the knife, unless this little thing.
Alain wants me to wipe off the blade.
I actually, I think I had a choice when I bought the number 4.
You did.
Go with
you
a
absolutely did.
13 or
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's a choice because I bought it used.
But I tell you what, I accidentally cut myself on this because I went to grab it, didn't realize it was sliding out of the sheath.
Oops.
Incredibly sharp.
Yeah.
This is like new. I bought it used.
I think in a lot of ways the number 4 is the nicest one, but the number 1 is the one I want because I'm a freaking classicist.
Yeah, I've sent you a link the other day. I'm not sure if you've seen it.
No,
For a guy that was selling one.
I missed it. All right. Did you send it by Signal?
No, by MSN.
Oh.
By Facebook.
Oops. Oh, hi, Maria. I clicked on you by mistake, but how's it going? Welcome to the live stream. Where's SE?
That would be where I am.
SE. Sweden is SE?
Yeah.
Nice. I would greet you in Swedish, but I am terrible at Swedish. Like, terrible.
Well, I covered that for you.
Oh, yes, I see. Good on you. What I wanted to click on was Alain says that it's walnut scales and 1065 carbon for the blade.
Yeah, it's a nice 1065 is not a bad blade at all, but you need oil.
Well, but I have so many carbon blades that it's not going out of my way to throw this one into the batch when I'm doing my knife maintenance. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
see how many knife I pulled tonight?
You pulled a bunch.
Yeah, maintenance is going to be a pain.
Yeah.
Or I'm just going to throw them back and say, oh, I'm going to pick another one.
Right. Russell, yours is stainless, right? You're number 4?
Yeah.
Both of them are stainless for me, too.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
It's better. You were like...
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, my I just realized my Yeti was off, so I guess it was picking up my audio through my stupid webcam.
Yeah, you sound a lot better now.
Oh.
I shall celebrate how good you sound by starting with my whiskey.
Oh, shit. Oh, heck.
Oh, gosh. Oh, jeez.
Stuff.
Oh,
golly.
Stuff.
I got to
Willikers.
I got to pull out my my
port.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. My port and my new port glass.
Yeah.
And show everybody the thing I was about to pull out.
Your pipette sipper?
Yes, his pipette sipper.
Oh, it's wonderful. I haven't tried it yet though, but it looks wonderful.
I'm going to show you the second Shigarov I've got. Copy, of course.
Of course.
That just sprang out like a special thing I was about to pull out.
Greased weasel.
Pretty smooth. It's on bearings.
Bearings.
It's D2 steel. It's marked D2. Chinese.
That's a weird shape.
Yeah. It's a collab. I have to pull back out what my friends told me was he buys like Medfords and Shigarov straight from Russia. So he's more knowledgeable than I am. I have to find.
Man, if I'd known that there were going to be 2 people from Sweden in the side chat tonight, I would have cracked open my bottle of High Coast, my Timmer, instead of the Japanese whiskey.
It's only 10:09 p.m.
Yeah, this one is the Dmitry Sienkiewicz or Shigarov on a Shirogorov or Zero Tolerance produced the same knife.
Oh, come on. He's making these words up.
Nope, those are real.
What he's trying to say is it's a very good knife.
Yeah.
It goes click, very sharp.
The
The
designer
other
is
one, is the collab between Shigarov and Kulotov.
I can type words into my phone that mean nothing too. You want to see?
But like this knife.
It's a convo. It's a convo. Look, there's even a link.
Yeah. And so where did this one come from?
Shigarov is that one is supposed to be the custom from Shigarov and Pilochovsky. So that was a collab that made a custom, but ZT made a copy. ZT had the right of making it also. Zero Tolerance.
Yeah.
So Zero Tolerance does the mass-produced version.
It does look like a 0 tolerance knife. Zach says, I like thinner blade stock on fixed blades. The thickest I go is 1/8. The only Groman that fits my parameters is the number 2. I don't know which. There are a lot of cases in which I like a thinner stock on a fixed blade. For food production, for instance, I want it to be way thin. When I'm batoning and stuff, I'm okay with something a little bigger.
Yeah.
I don't even know what this is.
So what?
That looks... Is that 1/8?
Hard to
Put a
tell
ruler
from the
by it.
screen.
It's so hard to tell, but like... you know, you
Don't
guys
you
are all
have
freaking
calipers?
geniuses. No, I used to, but I don't know where the hell they went. Because I lose everything.
With my knife?
With
Yeah.
my calipers are wherever the hell the knife you gave me are. I lost track there.
I'm sure
Probably
one day
the backpack of
you'll
your
find
girl.
it. It's like finding a $20 bill in a jacket you don't wear. You'll put your hand in a pocket and there'll be a knife there.
Slice.
Hopefully a
What I
closed
would
knife.
really like to find is I had a palm plane. No, not a palm plane. What's it called? You know the planes that are the little ones that you just do this with for like end grain and stuff like that. The bevel up. I had a fabulous one. I haven't been able to find it in a year and a half.
Still in the box?
No, classic Stanley. Classic Stanley.
Yeah, most likely.
Just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, and I have no idea what happened to it.
So what do you want to see now?
I don't know. I showed off this knife. I just want to clarify again that I bought this knife specifically to do a review of. I will not do my usual thing of like first review and then a year later, second review. I'm just going to do my first review and then I'm going to do a giveaway with this knife.
That's nice.
It will be open to anyone in the world, which is going to frickin' bankrupt me, considering that I sent a spoon to our buddy Hamza in where does Hamza live?
Morocco?
No.
Algeria? Tunisia?
Yes.
It's one of those.
Yeah.
He's in Algeria, I think, and it cost me $80 to send a spoon.
I did
Holy
I did a giveaway, and I was like, when I was about to do the randomizer, I was like, oh, please be North American, please be North American, please be North American.
What
And
did you give away?
It was the
Yeah.
US. I gave away you want to see?
Yeah.
Think about it. You can have me win it, and you can drive and take some alcohol with me while you're giving it to me.
Yeah.
That would be nice. It's been a
Show up
while.
in Quebec City, yeah.
It's a cutting board.
Wow, it sure is.
Can you?
Is it like
You make
laser cut? Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, I believe
That's
so. And then
nice.
you use this side as the cutting part,
Mhm.
which my wife hasn't figured out yet. She used this side in a video, and I'm like, no.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
So who won
So
that?
we had a few of them made. Oh, one of my subscribers in the US. And
Oh, thank the gods.
I haven't seen her in ages, so. Yeah, but it could have been. It's one of those things. It could have been anywhere, but I was like, please. And
I
also,
like that cutting board.
Also, when you do a giveaway, you kind of want somebody to win that has been with you for a while and comments on your videos, and not one of these
Yeah.
strange people that came out of the woodwork just because they saw there was a giveaway.
I gave away I did a couple of videos with that little that tiny little two-headed double-edged axe I had, the little one with the red handle. Tenenbaum, you remember this thing, right?
Yeah.
I decided like that it wasn't for me, so I did a giveaway on Instagram. And the person who won it, I'd never even interacted with before. I sent it to him, and he didn't he had a larger Instagram following than I did. Thing never even showed up on his Instagram feed. I was like, if I give you something, at least show it, say thanks. I don't
Say thanks.
require it, but it's what you got there.
It's Tucson knife. It's a Chinese one, also made in Yanglang, China,
You can tell just by the box.
factories are. But it's really nice. Bought it off a Canadian that does review of knife.
Mhm.
Canadian cutting edge.
Oh yes.
Jake makes sales often, and it's in D2 also. So
Huh.
it's marked there, D2.
Yeah. It's pretty nice.
Yeah. Well, I like the shape of the blade.
Yeah.
It's kind of different. That's why I have so many. And it's I think it's micarta.
Looks like it.
It's really a lot of work in this. It's really grippy, but not too aggressive. So
You don't want to be too aggressive now.
well, you want it to stick to your hand, but not. And it's quite long.
Yeah. Yes, Zach, it's a Moore Maker double bit. And Moore Maker, they make mostly knives. They make one axe, and that's it. Okay, Maria Lindell asked a question. What's your opinion on using a Swedish Markkniv compared to other knives during survival in the forest? Here's the thing. I'll go first, and then you guys can talk if you want. I spent years not buying Markkniv because the narrative around them was like they're great knives, and if you break it, you just throw it away and get a new knife. And I'm so against disposable culture that I didn't buy one. And then a few years ago, I was like, I gotta know. I just gotta know. So I bought a Companion HD, a heavy duty, and then another Companion I bought a Companion and a heavy duty, and I think they're fabulous. They're fabulous enough that when the Garbird came out, and it's like a Mora for over $100. What? I bought it anyway, and that Mora is Mora Garbird is a solid freaking knife.
We have talked about this a little bit before. Right? The nice thing about a Mora is that it is cheap in the sense that it is good value. It is not cheap in the sense that it is garbage. They're really great value, and they're excellent knives. I think a Mora Kniv is a wonderful choice for using in the outdoors.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, that's what I got.
The only knock that some people have is there are some people who are real full tang purists, which is to say they think that the metal has to extend all the way through the handle for durability.
And I'm a bit like that too. I will admit, I'm a bit like that because I may need to baton the knife in a pinch.
Mora is generally well constructed. It uses quality plastics, and the way that the blade is attached to the knife means that you can
look at these guys. Yeah,
pretty much do anything to it, and it will serve you well. I don't have a bad thing to say about Moras. Personally, I like the classic ones with the red wooden handle. But,
I want one of those very badly. I really want one of those. I've never had one. I've got several of the plasticky ones now, but there's something about that wooden handled classic that just it hits all the right buttons for me.
As you might expect, they're widely available here.
Yeah, I'm sure of it.
A Chinese knockoff, but with the fire steel.
I'd like to get up there to the factory someday. I have not had the chance yet.
Yeah, I'd like to get to Sweden someday, and then get to the factory, and then get to the Gränsfors factory, and then sit in the forest and enjoy being in Sweden.
Yeah, because your budget would be blown out in those two factories, Wendy.
My budget would be blown just taking the plane. Last time I checked, I wasn't exactly rich.
I wasn't even factoring in that. It's just walking into the factory. You would come out like with axes.
I don't know if I would walk out with that many axes. I would, trust me, I would walk out with an axe, and I would go to the Wetterlings factory and walk out of there with an axe, because I think that you can only buy Wetterlings from the Wetterlings factory now, because they don't sell worldwide anymore, because they're just a Gränsfors production house now. Here's an interesting question. How the hell is the W pronounced in Swedish?
It's more of a V.
It is a V, or is it like, because I know like in German, because I took German for 2 years.
It's not V.
But like, in Dutch, it's kind of halfway between. It's like a breezy V. It's like V. So I was wondering if it was sort of similar to that in Swedish, or if it's just a straight up V.
Although I think there are regional accents and there's variation in space and time. I can tell you that over time Swedish is becoming progressively less Germanic, I think is the way I'd put it. So you'd get a different answer if you asked that question 50 years ago than now.
Yeah, that's very possible. So, Maria, I hope that answers your question. We all love some more
Well, wait, I got to be the dissenting opinion.
because, of course, you do.
Russell doesn't like his.
Look at the. It's hard to tell, but look at the markings on this knife. It's like stained horribly.
That's a carbon steel knife, right?
Yeah.
Like every time I pull it out, it's like I'm gonna stain right now. That's what I'm doing.
You're gonna have to take
you're getting a patina on that. You got to take some like 000 steel wool to that, and you got to keep it oiled.
And
which reminds me, we skipped a question from Chris Garland way back, which was, "What kind of steel do you prefer?"
Oh, sorry, Chris. Okay,
that's a long time ago. But my answer to that is stainless steel, for the very reason that Russell is illustrating. I think it's a pain in the ass to have to do that, and I spend a lot of my time around water. So
yeah, fair enough. LT, what's yours?
In Quebec, well, I've always been exposed to stainless steel, so I have a couple of blades that are high carbon steel, so they're painted, most of them, so it's not a problem either. So I'm going to take whatever I have. Talking about Nivar, you might know that. Do you know who the hell makes those? Eagles Nivar.
Eagles Nivar? That looks like a Husqvarna to me, but doesn't Mora make the Husqvarnas?
Because
I have never seen that brand before.
Yeah, because we get that at Pro Nature store. They're in special this week, $6.99. $6.99 for almost a Mora.
I think it's a Husqvarna.
Would it be like a under brand of?
Wait, no. Is it Husqvarna I'm thinking about, or is it Hultafors? It might be Hultafors.
Because I've tried internet and I had no success. Russell is typing it in, and I think he's trying to find it out. But I mean, it's written obviously the same way as the Mora knife.
Yeah, it's obviously a Swedish knife.
Obviously,
because Knivar is knives, right?
Basically the same blades.
Yeah.
If I pull my companion.
Yeah, I think it might be a Hultafors.
Because they sell those in special. I mean, if you look at it, it's almost, it may be more like the classical Mora or. So.
You see, I wonder if maybe that's a product for export, because I just get. I'm Googling, and of course, when I Google, I get Swedish-oriented results.
Right.
And I'm just getting nothing for that.
Yeah, me neither. I'm talking about the cadets since they're special. We might just buy those for the cadets because they're comfortable and they're easy to use. Plastic sheet like the Mora knife.
They're not Hultafors. The handle is different on the Hultafors.
So the barcodes doesn't seem to be European. So I have no idea. I've not find if the sheet is also Eagle Nivar. So, and they're made like the Swedish one for the button. So,
and by the way, Jesse, Maria has weighed in that it is Vetterlings.
Vetterlings. I mean, how to pronounce it, or this.
No, how to pronounce it.
Oh, okay.
So it's Vetterlings. Vetterlings. Okay.
Actually, your first one was good.
Was it?
Yeah, I liked the pacing. Vetterlings.
Vetterlings.
So for the cadets, that's what I'm using. So if I give it to a cadet, he puts it on their.
Yeah. A neck knife.
Yeah, as a neck knife. And I'm sure he's not going to lose it, or hopefully he's not going to lose it. So I even made a safety on it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I want to sort of Russell stepped away. I wanted you guys to all talk about your favorite steel before I went, but he's gone. Again, I'm a classicist. Did I unmute myself after my sneezing? Yes, I did.
Nope.
I'm a. What do you mean no?
I mean, no, you didn't mute yourself.
I'm a classicist. I like '01 tool steel. Here's the thing. I like carbon steel, but I like the ease of use of stainless. I appreciate the fact that you don't have to oil your damn blade all the freaking time if you're just using stainless. But there's a real magic to those classic, not a super steel, not a blah blah blah, just a like basic '01 tool steel. It's keeps an edge, but it's easy to sharpen. Is it the best of any of those worlds? Not really, but it's good enough of both of those that it hits the sweet spot for me. But I mean that also comes with I like classic designs. I like tried and true. You know, what you got there?
That's my first knife. My father bought it, but he bought it before I was born. So
Right.
It's the 1950s, maybe beginning of 60s. It's made in Sheffield, England. Oh. And it's the IXL stainless steel. So that's why I mainly the stainless steel guy because it's got rays on it. But they were like soft steel, so if you see the edge, it got a couple of impacts on branches.
My main straight razor is from Sheffield. It's a Weight and Butcher from about 180 years ago. It's a nice razor.
And I got my grandfather's knife. It's impressive. Well, it's small.
Yeah. Simo steps in with he prefers the stainless as well. If I could find my cursor, I would. There we go. Hike with Mike had said that he likes stainless as well because obviously he lives in Florida, so there's always like a water or a salt water kind of thing happening, I guess.
You were going to ask me something. I heard it when I was across the room.
Yeah, I wanted you to chime in on what's your favorite steel. If you're a carbon guy or a stainless guy, or if there's a specific steel you love. Do you care?
My favorite is whatever I purchased most recently.
I think your number 4 is a stainless knife, right?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Oh, look at that cute little thing.
It's a PAL RH42, I think.
What a cute
made
little
in
PAL.
Germany. Yeah, PAL.
Solingen?
It says made in Germany.
It's a
Most
Solingen.
Nike Solingen.
Yeah.
It looks like it's had a good amount of use. It's been sharpened down a bit. It's a bit thinner than it started.
Oh yeah, it's it must have been like 2-3 mil past this part.
Yeah.
It has been sharpened. Yes, it was the hunting knife of my grandfather.
I was given a the bayonet off of a Ross rifle. Back when I was directing Black Box Theater, one of my actors, he had the bayonet off of a Ross rifle, and like World War I bayonets, right?
Yep.
But it had been so sharpened that you could not see the original shape of the blade. It's like, I know you're into this kind of stuff, and so I want you to have this. And so, yeah, it'll never see any use, and it's been beat to hell. But it's a Ross rifle bayonet. Who the hell has the bayonet off a Ross rifle these days?
I know another guy, but yeah, I got something that's quite old. I was into the tackle box of my grandfather. I did a review on these.
There we go.
Yeah. We got some history happening here. Alain, by the way, is also with stainless, but he's also into. I think Alain has a bit of everything. Just going by the small amounts of his collection that I've seen. Man, LT, you and Alain would get along great.
Oh yeah. I don't remember. Oh yeah, it's William. It's a German-made knife. God, I forgot what I've researched. I would have to look at my video. But it's knife and fork set, and sometimes you find newer one with the.
I like that one though.
It's around 1900.
Is it like a Bakelite handle? No, not
No, no,
1900 would
that's
not be
wood.
Bakelite. It's wood.
That's wood.
Oh, I like that. Man, I like
You
that.
see
like,
here,
like ebony or something.
Yeah,
really
something.
dark.
yeah, and
So
fork,
cool.
and it. I've contacted one of the company by email, but they said that was the other one. I think it's no, not William Rogers. There's a logo that looks like the walking man
Mhm.
of the German made knives,
Yeah.
but there's some writing here which I found. It was, I can't remember which. Damn it, it's been a while.
You know, I was going to say this earlier, but I didn't because I forgot because everyone else was being more interesting than me. I do wish, I like there to be just a tiny little choil, whoops, right there.
You can
Right
make
there.
one.
Yeah, but I'm not going to do it because I'm afraid I'll duff it up, and then when I do my giveaway, I'll be giving away a busted up knife. But I like there to be that little thing just because I feel that I will never be able to sharpen right into that tiny little there.
Yeah.
But if there's that tiny, it's not even called a choil, is it?
Sharpening choil.
You
Yeah.
call it
Is
sharpening
that
choil.
sharpening choil? With the sharpening choil, I can get right to the arse end of the sharp part.
Well, you can look at this though. I mean, come on.
Oh, I'm looking at that. I love that knife. That's so cool. See, I'm gonna have to get 2 Gromans now, the number 1 and the number 4.
Just imagine stabbing a pig with this. Come on, that's just wonderful. I don't know where that came from, actually.
I don't either, but now I'm all scared. When you say pig, you mean like a wild boar, right? Is charging at you and you're heroically defending yourself.
When I was an early teenager, I worked with pigs, and they're like the stupidest, ugliest, stupidest things I'd ever want to work with. And I imagine myself stabbing them because they're so awful.
Hi, this is Survival. I'm going to my own videos to be able to remind myself what the hell is written there.
I just want to say, Maria says in Swedish, W sounds like a V, but W is an extremely outdated spelling of words. Normally words are only spelled with the V. You see, that's why I was unable to figure out how the hell you pronounce that, because the only Swedish word I had ever seen with a W
In fact,
was...
the only places you see W's now are in proper nouns.
Yeah.
So names of things.
Yeah, and so I was like, how is this pronounced? Because I know how it's pronounced in English, I know how it's pronounced in German, I know how it's pronounced in Dutch. And it's not the same in any of those 3. So anyways, it's good. Man, I learned something new tonight, and any night I go to bed less stupid than I woke up, that's a good day.
Bullshit. I mean, fuck. I mean, damn it.
My God, I'm being demonetized more and more by the second. Zach says he prefers a good stainless. I'll only go for carbon if the stainless option isn't up to par. Here's an interesting thing. I like me some Okay, I'm going to start that again. I like me some carbon steel, but with the Garberg, I took the stainless for 2 reasons. Well, one, when I bought it, the carbon wasn't available yet, and B, I don't like my blades to be painted. Okay. I want my blade to be, if the shift hits the fan and I'm lost in the woods and a plane is going by overhead and I don't have a mirror, I like to be able to use my knife and optimistically think that that's actually going to work. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I like the blade to be, like what Russel's showing off. I like it to be shiny. I don't like a
SOS.
You're doing beautifully. And so the fact that the Garberg carbon has the coating on it kind of puts me off. I don't like the look of it. My first
The black coating?
Yeah. My first 2 serious knives were, some people are going to say that's not a serious knife, but my first 2 serious knives, one was the LMF2 is, because I still have it in the workshop. It's an excellent pry bar. And the other was the big the Gerber Bear Grylls Ultimate. And they both have terrific handles on them. Yeah, that one. With the fine blade though, not the serrated.
Yeah, I got this serrated.
Yeah. And what I loved about that knife, because I like my tools to look used. I like them to show every minute that I've spent with them, because I do beat the ever-loving hell out of my knives. And what I did like about that knife is that the coating was wearing off, and it had this beautiful weathered look to it. It also has a terrific handle. I found it ergonomic as hell. The orange was amazing because I dropped it in the wood in the long grass a couple of times and could find it because of the orange. Yeah, the blade was some sort of mystery Chinesium, but doesn't bug me. Wow, that is pretty.
That wear, eh?
Yeah, the wear, and so I liked that. I got rid of it because even though I got the fine blade, it was more of a survival knife than a bushcraft knife. And I don't mean that just in terms of the marketing. What I mean is, that's a very cool knife. What I mean by that is there's a blade geometry that is really, really good for, say, carving tent pegs or carving spoons or batoning a steak. And then there's a blade profile that's really good for, say, cutting through the side of a helicopter when you've crashed. And the Bear Grylls knife was aimed a little too much at the survival side of things, because it was terrible for carving with, even without the serrated edge. It was terrible for carving with. So I did a giveaway on Bushcraft USA, passed it on.
You did a giveaway on Bushcraft USA where carving is usually done?
The thing is, I mean, there are people in there who are on the survival side of things, and
Oh yeah.
I did a giveaway in the Canadian section, so I wouldn't have to pay too much on the shipping. And some guy got it and he was very happy with it.
Oh yeah. It's a gift I received also, but
Yeah.
it's make me think a lot. It's a lighter LMF2, basically.
Yeah.
It's a lighter used also.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to find that cutlery set. Just trying to remember what is.
Loanwords from English, usually pronounced either with an English accent or a Swinglish.
The what?
Beskov. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting Maria's informing me about the Swedish language.
We're getting Swedish language lessons here. Not that that's a bad thing.
No, I think it's a terrific language, and this it's really well. It's easy as hell to learn, and it's hard as hell to learn, because I spent a couple of years in German, so I keep expecting it to work the way German did in German. I spent a couple of years learning German, so I keep expecting it to act the way German does, but it's not from the same branch of Germanic. And so, like, things like the and all that, it's all endings, which incidentally 1,000 years ago was exactly how English worked as well. So this should be familiar, but I'm not 1,000 years ago, so it's all just bloody foreign to me. But that's boring, and I'm not going to keep talking about it. But I find stuff like that interesting.
It's actually pretty rule based. As languages go, learning it is not the worst. Some of the pronunciation's tricky, but the structure's pretty simple.
Yeah. By the way, Maria and Tenenbaum are here. What time is it for you guys now?
4:40.
Like, Jesus.
4:40 in the morning.
Yeah.
There's a 4:40 in the morning now? When did that happen?
Once a day.
Yeah, once a day. Alain says, not all stainless are equal, just like not all carbon steels are equal. So I'd rather have a good 1095 Crovan steel over a cheap stainless. Yeah, that's fair. I think, if I was better at sharpening, I'm not bad at sharpening, but if I was better at sharpening, I'd probably be all about the super steels and stuff. But I don't want to spend that long trying to get something that hard sharp. Oh,
It's
Ian,
a trade.
Ian, I want that knife so bad. Is it like 114 Canadian? I love their videos. I want to make their videos. The men with the pots. Oh,
If you do a Google image search on that, you'll come up with
Yep, absolutely. I want that knife so hard. I don't know what the steel is in it, but I want it, and then I want to make videos of it, and I want to do cooking, and I think they're 114 Canadian.
Men with the pod. Don't forget to right click and
Oh, okay. If he's saying don't forget to right click, he's about to drop the URL in the side chat.
I made mistakes. Mistakes were made, but the link should work.
Yeah, that's a knife I'm dying for, and I'll spend the extra to get the sheath as well.
115 Canadian.
115 Canadian plus.
Damn.
I think it's $30 for the sheath.
Well, you need the sheath.
You need the sheath, so it's yeah. That company also makes. They make a whole bunch of those kinds of knives, but that's the one that I want. It's like a cooking knife made for guys like us, people like us.
I've never heard of men with the pot. I'm kind of like men with the pea pot, or men with the what kind of pot?
Smoking pot.
Smoking pot.
Wait, you've never heard of Men with the Pot?
No.
They're like
they do cooking.
Yeah. They're a TikTok channel.
Oh, TikTok. See, I'm not on. I refuse to do TikTok. I can't even say TikTok.
That's probably smart, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Chinese TikTok.
Yeah, it's owned by China. There we go.
It's owned by China. Exactly. Oh my God, you're making me watch TikTok?
I'm making you watch possibly the only channel that's worth
Avert
watching.
your eyes.
It's kind of like Almazan Kitchen, right? Except Chinese. Right?
Look at that
Almazan.
knife.
Anybody?
No, don't know it.
Almazan Kitchen. They also use a knife that's like this, but better.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that knife, man. Something about it speaks to me. Oh, Ian got the sheath as well. Yeah. So, yeah, at some point I'm gonna do that, and then it'll show up on all my videos because I'm gonna do all cooking videos from here on.
Oh yes. Nice. I love it. You should come here and do those.
I gotta find out what's the writing because I've got to pull out the jeweler's
loop.
loop. Yes.
Oh, Ian says that they have a YouTube channel as well. That's probably why they've got the knife. I didn't even know they were in Ireland. I thought they were in like the Ukraine or something. They have a YouTube channel.
Look,
Taylor Fladgate, 20.
Oh yeah, I've got a bottle of that
nice.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
oh,
nice choice.
It's expensive, but you know what? I had to get it because I bought this glass.
Oh, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
I've never used the glass, but
glass.
apparently it's a port glass, so yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Folks, I have just put the YouTube channel for Men with the Pot in the side chat so that you don't have to mess around with the TikTokage.
I can't.
Oh man, I'm going to watch everything. Let me subscribe to them right the hell now.
It's one of those channels where you're never actually going to make what they're making, but it's just like food porn, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
One of their cooking is like forest meatloaf, but it's covered in bacon.
Yeah, they do a lot of stuff that's covered in bacon. They cover everything in bacon.
I can't believe you guys haven't heard of Almazan Kitchen because they've been doing that for years. Just cooking in the forest. Oh, I can't do it.
What?
Almazan Kitchen.
Apparently, it's been closed for 20 years. There we go.
Yeah, I recognize that knife, that Almazan Kitchen knife. Yeah. Huh. All right, I will subscribe to them as well because I love stuff like that, like cooking outdoors. For the longest time on my channel, I've been like, I want to do some like serious Dutch oven cooking. I want to go full on Ramiers, right? Make a loaf of bread in the Dutch oven, putting the ashes on top, Doesn't work with my Dutch oven because it doesn't have that kind of top, but I want to watch
There
the
we
pour.
go.
And how full should it be?
About that.
How much do you want to drink?
Oh, that.
All of it.
See, how much do you want to drink? That doesn't work in like restaurants. They don't ask
No.
me how much I want to drink. They fill it up like this much. Like,
Okay, now you got to hold that glass like you're doing the full on like Sherlock Holmes with his like pipes.
What you need there is a much more expensive restaurant. Then they don't bother asking; they just keep pouring.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh,
Yeah. God damn it.
4:45 a.m. for you and Maria Tenenbaum.
mhm.
I think he's gonna go to work right from the chat, isn't it?
oh, that's so good.
Can't go wrong with a Taylor Fladgate. It's funny because I have in this box samples from the Scotch Malt Whiskey Society, their August outturn, which I missed the virtual tasting because birthdays and everything. But I'm looking forward to. Man, I love me some whiskey. I used to spend a lot of money on port. A lot of money.
So, Russell, is that a good way to drink port? I mean, does it?
I have no idea.
Because what I'm wondering is, I mean, you're sucking it through a little glass straw. Does it hit your mouth and tongue the way it would if you drank it from a glass like normal?
I have no idea what the point of this glass is. I
Well,
really don't.
it's so that the port that you drink isn't oxidized. It's
Yeah,
coming
but
from the
yeah, it's
bottom.
coming from the bottom, but that glass
But-
isn't going to last long enough to really become oxidized.
Hey, shut up. Shut up, you.
Well, I just wonder.
Shut
I wonder about the mouth feel and the way you hit the tongue if you're sucking it through a straw.
Yeah, this is the way I like my glasses to be.
You know what? I'd have to say I don't like it as much.
I can't see how you get the same
It's because
experience.
your nose isn't playing the same role that it should be.
Yeah, because the 20 years is basically a little refined taste of the 10 years. So
Oh, the 20-year-old is so much better than the 10-year-old. Sometimes I buy the 10-year-old just because I want to be reminded of what the 20-year-old might taste like. If that makes sense.
kind of.
It's like when you buy grocery store sushi because you can't afford regular sushi for a while. It's not good sushi, but yeah.
Jesse.
Kind of does the job for no.
So does this mean that Jesse's internet went bad, or is he just stepping away? I wonder.
Somebody's in the room.
Yeah, somebody's in the room that doesn't want to be viewed. Haha. I'm gonna pull out my notes. Maybe I have it still written somewhere. What the heck?
Oh, is that Russell's notes? You made notes on me?
No, it's notes on the knives. William Rogers.
You are making me wish I had a bottle of port here.
It's pretty good. And I chilled it in the fridge a while because it's so freaking hot here. I didn't want like hot port. Just chilled to like not cold, not like fridge cold, but just enough to. It's probably around maybe between 15 18 Celsius.
I was going to say room temperature in a nicer climate.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the problem with stuff is it's so good to drink that I get drunk really fast. Which I'm not complaining about.
Yeah, see, I've got this. It's the 10. It's not as good as the 20 at all.
Oh,
In fact,
I totally
this
put
is-
my 10 aside.
yeah, absolutely. It's not the same at all. And this one's been open for a while, so
I think
Yeah.
I'm going to buy a bottle of port the next time I'm at the System Lodge.
Gosh, it's only 4:49 a.m. there. Can you go now?
they'll be open in about an hour and a half, right?
Oh, there isn't one in my town, but no, they don't open quite this early.
Hey, did I tell you I once had 100-year-old Taylor Flaggate Tawny Port.
How much did that cost?
It was, this was years ago. This was like 30 years ago. And it was like $16 for like a wine glass amount.
Actually, that sounds pretty bloody reasonable. Well, $16 30 years ago?
It was a lot of money back then.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going to do it, but my dad was there, and my biological father, whom I hadn't seen very much of, he insisted that I get it. And it was as good as the 20-year-old is better than the 10. The 100-year-old was better than the 20. It was something.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing. If you have the opportunity, just spend the money. Just try it. Taste it. Ian the Weblord has suggested several of these woodsy cooking channels in the side chat, so I've subscribed to them all.
Got it.
What's he looking for?
The name of the company that made the fork and spoon. I usually keep all my research when I do a strict knife.
Okay.
And I try to. My memory sometimes is just not willing to work.
Right.
And on eBay, I found a set of that. It's not expensive. They're not $139 for the trio, about the same age as the one I have. But what I wanted to know is what is the make on it, and they're still operating. I've tried to contact them, and they didn't answer.
Hmm.
The first one answered saying it's not us, it's the other one.
Okay.
Because there's two maker that has about the same name. Got it. In Germany.
I like what Mark says here. Our Swedish guests have stamina or insomnia.
Yeah.
I wonder which that is for Tenenbaum.
I did get a couple of hours sleep in a little earlier this
Beforehand?
You know what I say during my live stream when I find out there's Europeans joining me? I say, thanks for staying up really late or getting up really early.
One or the other.
One or
They're
the
both
other.
legit. They're both great. They're both fabulous. You're just good people.
Usually they're staying up late.
Yeah.
Very few are getting up early.
But, when I was younger, man, I was at my best between like 2 and 3 in the morning, 2 and 4 in the morning, give or take. That's when I was like painting, being all creative and artistic.
Yeah, you had no kids in that time, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, like when I was like 14 to 29. I just can't do it anymore. Because at like 6, I'm going to hear tiny, tiny feet running into my room and I'm going, oh, God, please.
You know how awesome it is to have adult kids?
Yeah, they're gone.
Out of there.
You can screw up your own life now,
Yeah.
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 Damn it, I can't find my my reference on that. I'll have to do the painstaking rebuilding of that name because I'm missing letters.
Okay.
Was it William? No. Oh, George. George what? Damn it.
William to George is a pretty big jump.
No, it's George. Is it George? God damn it. I had searched it a lot. I know it's dated. It's like an officer set of for First World War, Second World War, or First World War.
Right.
Very early in the 19th century, in the 1900s.
In the 1900s. Yeah.
So, but this one is like worn out. I mean, my grandfather used that in his tackle box. Tip is all broken up. My father had that like for 30 years in his tackle box, never used them.
Good night, Maria.
Oh, is
Yep.
Maria out?
Yep.
Oh, that shows up in the YouTube chat, but not the... Okay. Good night, Maria. Good morning,
Good night.
Maria. Everyone say bye to
We
Maria.
had fun with the crazy knife guys.
Swing by again.
Anyway,
I would just like to point something out before anyone says anything, because I'm solo tonight, and I'm solo until I pick up my kids after school tomorrow at the lake. This means that tomorrow I don't have to worry about 6 a.m. tiny feet.
Oh,
This is exciting.
You going an extra hour
tomorrow morning?
Yeah. No, I'm not going to go an extra hour because, we could go an extra 15 minutes. So
Don't we always go 15 more?
I tell you what, as long as there's more than 5 people watching. How many are there now?
But I'm out of alcohol.
What? How is that possible?
Well,
There's
so I
17
wanna keep-
people watching. What the hell? You can't stop when there's 17 people watching.
Okay, well, I need at least. What do I need?
How can
Okay,
you
let
be
me
a-
get a dram. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
I'll get a dram.
Don't you have bottles in the in your?
Yeah, but they're in the other room, and I hate
Yeah.
stepping off screen, so I'm gonna hide my cam, and you guys talk while I get a dram.
I'm out of alcohol is the worst lie ever.
Well, I have no alcohol within arm's reach, is what he's saying.
Yeah, sorry. I should qualify for Jess. That's the worst lie ever. I get lots of people show up on my live streams and going, "Oh no, I've got no beer. Oh my god. Okay, don't. I'm gonna run out. Beer run."
Yeah.
And I
You
always
say
tell
that
them,
one of-
you have to have a
What?
backup supply.
I was going to say we have a
Backup
state
supply.
liquor monopoly here, and you can't buy alcohol on Sunday really. So you have to plan ahead, and the hours on Saturday are short. So
Yeah, we had the same thing in Canada before
What's
when religion was really important. And
Oh, like when everything was closed on Sundays?
Sunday was closed and everything. But
So if you
don't
find
have-
yourself in that situation here, you can still buy beer at the grocery store, but it's weak. So you have to drink fast.
You can buy a beer at the grocery store in Quebec as well.
yes,
It's just
No
like
longer- It's no longer
whiskey.
5%. It's 0.5%. You got to drink 10 of them.
This is the Swedish whiskey I was talking about, the High Coast,
oh,
which
nice.
I have not yet opened.
So you're breaking it tonight?
No. I have to. I'm going to open it on camera on my other channel. Tonight I'm having another dram off of the Nika Tabernacle. Hold on, I can't hold it.
Which
That
Nika?
was a bad word. This is what I'm having.
Oh yeah, nice. I was like scrolling on the SAQ application for Nika.
Yeah.
Did you see on? You didn't see that. The Samurai Gold Nika.
No. How much is that going to cost me?
I don't know. It's not at the SAQ yet.
Are they putting
It
it
was
on
a
their
Facebook.
allocated list?
It's not yet there, so
Yeah.
it's probably going to be very expensive because it has like armor of the samurai on top of the bottle.
I don't. Yeah. It's the same reason I don't buy. Well, okay, I'm not going to turn this into a whiskey discussion, but I can't wait to open this bottle.
What are you waiting for? Open it.
Not because I have to open it on screen on my other channel. I bought it specifically for that.
Why?
Because
So little question about your other YouTube channel. Is it more profitable than this one?
no, that one I'm doing specifically because we're in the plague and it's keeping me from getting to the woods.
What?
And
He's got like
And-
50 subscribers on that channel.
77.
77.
No, sorry.
Give me
it
some
is-
credit here.
It is
I'm
in
one
its infancy.
Yeah.
And it does not have its
because
it does
I
not
like
have its big break. It needs its viral video.
But like I'm already getting gifts on that channel, which is kind of
Oh yeah.
kind of cool. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah. Tenem. Is that your name? Ten?
No.
Tenenbaum?
Tenenbaum is my
Tenenbaum.
surname.
Is it like the Christmas Carol?
The very same.
Though he's not very Christmassy.
Because I was wondering about that. Anyway, what was I just saying?
Tenenbaum, you know what? I never even asked that if the Tenenbaum was of one ethnicity or the other, because it's just never really occurred to me to even think about that.
What was I saying? My God, this is terrible. Somebody followed. Oh shit! Ah!
Did you spell
Oh my-
Every
Place.
time I have ever spilled beer all over my desk has just been not validated, because that's a terrible thing to say, but balanced off by what just happened at Russell's place.
Oh my god! Like beer spill, okay. I mean, stuff gets wet and crap, and I spill the beer, but
But
$70 bottle of port.
yeah.
And then-
Hey, Shawnee's here. I didn't even see that. How's it going? Who else? Just making sure I didn't fall too far behind there, because then we started talking about booze. Russell was going to ask Tenenbaum about something before spilling the
this is
spilling the
My,
Porto.
my name was mentioned.
Yes.
Yeah.
because you said something.
Was it interesting?
It was really interesting.
Must
it.
have been.
I was talking about the state alcohol monopoly and
Oh yeah.
drinking fast.
We were saying that we had beer and very light alcohol in the grocery stores.
Oh
Is that what it is, Tenenbaum? It's like they just sell the light stuff in the grocery store?
Here, it's actually up to 3% in the grocery store, which is not
Really?
terrible, but
No, not terrible. We got like general beer that go up to 9%.
11, man.
11, yeah.
So that is it not Fin du Monde, but what's the other one by Unibrew? It's like
I was
11
thinking about the
Puppy
cheap
Stone,
stuff,
which I
but
love.
yeah, because of the microbrewery
Yeah.
that we have like 300 type of beer from microbrewery in
So-
Quebec.
So above 3%, and it's at the state liquor store.
Yeah, us it's like depending on the level. It's what's the threshold? Do you remember for beer?
No. All I remember is that you can sell beer and wine at the grocery store, but everything else pretty much is or like, White Claw or
I think beer it's not
Twist,
a problem.
Shandies and stuff like that.
Yeah. Beer it's not a problem
Yeah,
as long as
stuff.
it's a beer product. So you will find like my wife just drink like Palm Spring, but they got the malt product in the grocery store. But if you want the vodka based product, it's in the monopoly store in the of the government. So she doesn't like malt, so she goes for the vodka one. SV
Raven Flintlock, by the way, welcome, says 11.2 Founders backwards bastard. Yeah, it's once like beer gets up around there, like I'm okay with a strong beer if it's 6%, 7%. I mean, at whiskey, I like it to be like 58, but I don't drink beer to get 3 sheets to the wind. So I don't need it to be like high octane, And I find, especially with the Unibrew stuff, when you get up around 8 or 9%, the ethanol starts to overpower the actual taste.
Jesse, did you try the microbrewery Scotch ale that was like with real Scotch in it? That was like 40% alcohol?
No. I've had I've had a few microbrew Scotch ales, but I don't know which one that is.
I remember one that was literally a Scotch with ale.
Yeah.
It was like hitting like a brick.
I'm sure of it. Grace says, not sure if we have any restrictions here. Our grocery store has a full-on alcohol section, like a mini liquor store. They carry everything. That is very common in places like the UK as well, and a lot of Europe. I think the best place to be buying whiskey in Canada is Alberta, because there's no government agency, so you can walk into a store that has a completely different selection than the store down the block. In fact, I buy way over half of my whiskey from Calgary, and when I get up to like 8 or 9 bottles, my fiddler sends them to me, because the selection in Quebec is terrible. The prices in Quebec are atrocious. The
other thing they used to have in rural Alberta, I don't know if they still do, is that at bars they had off sales So they would sell you. They could sell you beer
Hmm.
in a jug, and you could take it away. It was great.
Some bars will do that here in Quebec now as well. Like they'll sell you a growler. What the hell's a growler in English?
It's a growler.
A growler, yeah. Which
pretty
you
much.
could not do before the plague hit, but now you can.
Yeah, that's a. I think you have to have a microbrewery status.
Good night, LA. Everyone say good night to
Bye,
LA. Yeah. I brought home a growler of Tobermory beer from Tobermory. Bought a growler while I was there. Taste of the Bruce Peninsula and all that. But the thing about a growler is, once you crack that thing, you've only got a few days to finish it off. So you better call a friend, because the growler I bought was like a 1.2 liter or something, or 1.4. I don't remember what it was, but it was way too much for me to just sort of.
At the age I was when I was partaking of this particular practice, considering the company I was in, this was not a problem.
Not a problem. You know, when we
you were partaking pretty much alone on that level.
When my band plays the festival gig in Alberta in the summers, one of the other bands that meets us all the time, they're from Salmon Arm, BC, and they bring a growler from a local brewery that is very, very sort of, it's a bunch of hippies, so they sell locally and they don't sell nationally. They don't even sell throughout most of BC. They sell growlers. They don't can. They'll sell you a pint at the bar or a growler to go. And this beer is called the Backhand of God. And I'm not a God type of guy, really, but it's so perfectly named.
Well, that's a good image.
Yeah. Oh, Simone's out too. Okay, good night. Gee, Simone's out early. It's only 23:07.
Simone Forget.
Forget Simone.
So just I know what I was going to say earlier that
okay, go.
Got interrupted by Tannenbaum making me spill my port all over the goddamn.
Oh, it's my fault now.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
I had to pour a little bit more because of you, and now I'm down. Can you see? I'm down to this much.
Son
of a bitch.
I see my Jedi powers have greatly expanded. I can now move objects a continent away.
Swedish son of a bitch. Okay, so what I was going to say, Jess, is like we got to work on your thumbnails and your titles. Because you're probably the kind of guy who goes.
No, keep talking. I just wanted to show this.
Nobody can see me.
I was talking about how your channel was going to get its big break, so that's what you meant.
Anyway, okay. You're the kind of guy who goes, I'm going to taste test this, right?
Yeah.
Where you should be saying, why does this bottle of whiskey cost $70? That's your title right there. Right?
Okay, here's why. I mean, we're talking about my other channel now rather than this one. I thought we were going to talk about how my thumbnails for these lives are so terrible. And the thing about that is the price is so bloody. Okay, for instance, if I buy a bottle of Ardbeg Ugadal, okay? Ardbeg Ugadal is delicious. If I buy it from BSW Liquor in Alberta, and I spend the $30 shipping to get it here, I'm still spending less than if I go into the SAQ here and buy that bottle. Right. The prices are so wildly different across the country and across the border that I don't know if I can really get away with saying, why is this bottle $70? Because in Alberta, it might be 40. Or for certain whiskeys, it works the other way around. Because I live in a province with a government agency, you don't have to deal with retail prices being inflated because something's very, very popular. So like Blanton's anything, which is a 3-digit number for no reason in the States, and is like the standard Blanton's is like 90 in everywhere in Alberta and is 65 here.
I think where Russell's going with this is that you want to have a title that provokes people into watching your video. Because it's in some way stupidly controversial. You know, like with the High Coast one, it could be, they make whiskey in Sweden?
Yeah.
It's not stupidly controversial. It's a real question. But, I mean, the idea, you want to draw people to watch your video, but you have to have a good video behind it. That's all.
So you provoke them, and then hopefully you follow up with good content.
Yeah.
I've there's a cocktail channel I've watched, but they put a lot of hours in post prod. It is incredible. What's his name? Russel.
It's not how to drink, is it?
It's a cocktail. The guy is a barman. He's a French barman doing a show in English, which makes him,
Truffles on the Rocks.
yes, exactly, Truffle on the Rock.
Very good channel.
And he's a guy that lives by the Chateau Frontenac. So,
And he works at the Chateau Frontenac.
oh yeah, he does. And I met him there. So, and but his production is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got everything panning, zooming, when he's presenting thing and the way he's doing thing. It's really professional.
Yeah.
I'm not at that level, and I have so many videos, but I'm alone doing the thing.
Yeah, me too.
Bringing the camera there and then doing my ship most of the time in one take because I'm a talker. So
yeah, Tenenbaum, Grace is saying that her mom told me that as a child she would walk to a bar down the road and buy a small metal pail of beer for her dad. It was very commonplace. You know, it's funny because my mom, when her mom was pregnant, because Catholic family, so there were 7 kids, but her mom used to send her to the corner store to buy a bottle of porter because they used to, at that point, you know, my mom was born in 47, so we're probably talking about the mid 50s, early 50s. You know, once she was old enough to go to the store for, you know, like kids my age, right? Gen X, we used to, you know, be sent to the store to buy our mom's cigarettes, right?
oh yeah.
But like back then, you know, pregnant women were supposed to drink porter to get iron in their blood and stuff, like all these weird little philosophies. So, you know, my grandma used to send her to the corner store to buy little bottles of porter. Could you imagine trying to send like a 10-year-old to the store to buy you a bottle of beer today? Could you imagine?
Think about it. The instruction at the ACQ is if you think that person is buying for minor or a parent as a minor in the car, you may not sell the alcohol to the person that's adult buying it. If you have a slight doubt, so if you go in the ACQ with your kid, he might just say, hey, you're coming in to buy it for your kid.
Yeah, that's why I don't go walking with my kids. You know, I don't want to walk in there with my 2.5-year-old and have them start asking questions.
Well,
I do like the idea of the metal pail, though. I like the idea of bringing your own containers to buy things.
Metal pail of beer.
Yeah. Bring a pail of milk home.
Yeah.
Must have been one with a lid, though.
I have a story. Can I tell it?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
When I was like 7, 8 years old, my stepfather's mother lived down the road from us, like 100 meters. And she had this thing in her throat. She called it the softening of her esophagus, which made her like constantly like try and bring up phlegm. And she said the only thing that made her throat feel better was a beer. And I can totally confirm that. If you got a sore throat, you know, and you know you're drinking water or milk, it tastes. A beer makes it feel so much better. But anyway, she would call up and say, you know, can somebody send me down a beer? so my mother, who didn't get along with her very well, would hand me a beer and go, okay, run this down to Graham. So I'd be running down the street with this bottle of beer. And she was horrified because all the neighbors saw me run down the street with a bottle of beer. And she's like, next time, you know, hide it in something. So the next time it happened, my mother stuck the bottle of beer in a mitt, and I went running down the street with a mitt. And she's everybody can tell there was a beer in that mitt.
No brown paper bag for you, sir.
No.
Isn't
I thought that was hilarious.
The brown paper bag twisted.
We have an answer from Grace about the lid. Nope, no lid. Better drink it all or it'll go flat. It's like cracking open that growler. Yeah.
It's like those 5 liters barrel that we have for Christmas, Heineken or any other beer.
Yeah.
They're
I've
fun.
only ever seen the Heineken ones.
Recently, yes, but before there were another make or two that you could have. Not sure which one. I don't remember.
The place I'm thinking of in Spirit River, Alberta, sold their draft beer in 4-liter milk jugs,
Wow.
which were conveniently resealable. Put the cap back on.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, that's important.
The glass bottles,
A plastic jug.
plastic. Okay.
Okay, that's a bit weird.
Yeah,
It was
beer-
I
beer-
thought it was unusual at the time.
Beer in plastic? Does that even work?
I
Well,
wouldn't
if
do
it's
it.
going to be in there for about an hour, I don't think it matters.
Fair enough.
any container would do.
I don't
Oh,
know.
I
I used to put beer in like coolers or thermoses for like nighttime classes in university, and it went all fizzy and not good.
That's
What
nice.
are we looking at? God Stout.
Growlers, eh?
The backhand. Yeah. So yeah, that's probably. I think I bought a 2-liter growler in Tobermory, but look at this. Boom. 18.5-liter keg of the backhand
Wait.
of God.
Wait, good night, Zach. Thanks for coming out, buddy.
Oh, is Zach out? All right. See you later, Zach.
Oh, Sapporo 5 liters, Chris was saying.
Oh, is that one of those barrels
the
that you
other
can buy around the Christmas time?
Yep. But
See, if
I haven't seen Sapporo in a while.
if I want a 5-liter keg, I want it to be like a Guinness or something dark, or even just a honey brown. But I don't want it to be something where I'm like a glass and a half in, and I was like, yeah, I'm tired of this.
Well, like my Jesse,
Yeah,
it might demonetize you again. But
because that won't have happened by tonight.
yeah, my father used to say it's beer to piss. So who cares?
Fair enough. But yeah, I still like
That's
it to
right.
be
You're not buying it; you're only renting it.
Yeah. So
grody.
basically, yeah, processing it to process the alcohol and the beer goes straight through.
Why you guys got to be like that? Why you got to be hating on the dark beer?
No, I love dark beer.
Any beer, really.
Well,
Yeah.
I sip my Guinness. I don't chug it.
Yeah. But you know, look, there are two. I totally forgot to monetize.
Fuck.
tonight.
Russell, you weren't saying anything.
I'm sorry. I don't know why I muted myself. I want Guinness to sponsor my live streams. I want to be able to reach out over here and just go.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that would be
Sponsored
nice.
by Guinness.
yeah, that would be amazing.
That with the fridge.
But that was the pitch, and I tried approaching them like, "Hey, sponsor my live stream so I can have beer." I didn't get any response from that.
How the heck does Dennis get sponsored? Like, it's a coffee sponsorship, but it's still something.
You got to approach the right company.
And he's going with business to business relationships. I expect he does, signage work for them and what have you.
Yeah, it's got to be something like that. Yeah, absolutely.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Where is Dennis tonight? He's usually here.
No, he's on a week-long canoe camping trip.
He's probably out there.
Yeah, he's out there. Fuck.
Oh, boo.
Oh, that was a nice one. F-bomb.
Boom! There it goes. Demonetize. Chris Garland says, Russell, you'd have to wait the 6 minutes or whatever they say the perfect pour is. Yeah, for a Guinness or like a Kilkenny or something like that, the perfect pour is it's a 2 pour. Right? You pour it, you wait, then you finish it off.
You know what though?
Shamrock on top.
You know what? I poured a beer at a bar once with the taps, and I tried to pour it really slow because that's how you pour a beer. And they're like, and I was just getting nothing but foam. And they're like, no. With those taps, you got to bang on
Boom.
full on.
Yep.
And I was like, wow, really? So
Angle the
that's-
glass, bang it on.
And keg Guinness is so much better than canned or bottled Guinness. I don't know why.
Especially the bottle, because the bottled in Canada is done by Labatt, right, under license.
Yeah, fuck those guys.
There's a nitrogen gas thing, which is hard to fake
Yeah.
in a bottle.
Well, the in the can they have those
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
balls
nitrogen.
that they
little nitrogen. Yeah.
Kilkenny in can is pretty good.
It's
As for not
I have
having
that
it
too.
draft.
I have that too. It's not quite. It's not the same as on tap.
No,
No,
Like, nothing like draft beer.
nothing like it.
yep. So now we're a beer channel.
Well, I mean, the title in the thumbnail for tonight is the Beer, Blades, and Bushcraft YouTube channel, and so far we have discussed blades and beer and
You know,
whiskey.
we've talked about this before. How if we followed our conversation back, you know, we went through all these different topics. And like, oh my god, what the hell were we?
What's going on here? Yeah, like what I've noticed is the first half of the night stays on topic, and then the second half of the night, which is strangely when Russell shows up, it
Which
goes
is when
off the
Russell
rails.
shows up.
He's
See,
That's
this is-
also when I.
This
switch
is
to
why I
whiskey,
don't
right?
show up until 10 o'clock, because this happens. I think
Yeah.
a good hour of, discussion about the topic, and Tenenbaum comes out and talks about the topic, and LT comes out, and then Russell shows up, and like everything goes to shit.
Everything else goes to woo. I got me some port. I got me some funky new glasses. I don't like the port from the new glasses.
The straw that you have on your glasses, and it surely not submerge your tongue the right way for drinking the port.
You know why something like that would not work for whiskey? So many reasons, but one of the reasons is there's a rule in whiskey that it's a minute in the glass per year in the cask. So if it had an age statement on 10 years, you'd let this sit for 10 minutes before drinking it, because what's happening there is that all the volatiles are reacting and it's sort of opening up, it's blooming. You need to have, like, that's not going to happen if you're drinking from a straw.
No, you can still let it sit.
But
Yeah.
the premise of that glass, as I understand it, is you're trying to drink port that has not
been
subjected to
yeah.
oxygen.
Yeah, that it doesn't make any sense. It honestly
But-
doesn't. The most amazing thing about this glass is that straw is not actually attached up here.
Mhm.
There's the tiniest gap there. I can't believe how close that gap is.
That's
That's
gotta be
amazing.
fragile as hell.
Yeah, when they bend
Yeah,
it,
it does.
they adhere it to your glass.
Like I'm like afraid to. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if we can get a piece of paper in there. I don't know.
Probably not. It's probably adhering by heat when they bend it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I just have this soaked thing here. I'm not going to tell you what it's soaked with.
With the port that you spilled.
Yes.
Thanks for reminding him, LT.
Holy shit! Oh my god! Piece of paper won't even go between there.
Yeah, that's pretty tight.
Yeah, you know when they blow those
That's what she
glass are
said.
blown like with on the flame, and then they make the straw, and then they attached it.
I mean, I can get a piece of paper between there, but I got to pull it through. That's amazing. Jeez.
It's a
You
nicely
know-
made piece of kit.
They used to make a. We have a La Shop Goblin, which is a restaurant here in Quebec with a medieval theme. And when it's your anniversary, you can call a drink, which is a layered drink, and you drink it out of that straw. They call it the pipe, and out of a straw similar to that, and you drink from the bottom up. So you have your lighter alcohol on top, but you start with the dancer.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And you drink it straight, so
Mm.
through the straw.
Hmm.
And then your anniversary is really fun.
That is a great way to do that.
So if you want to have a real party with one of the guests, you give him that glass with a couple
Right.
of years of alcohol. Yep. I have a question about whiskey glass. I received a set with rocks to cool the whiskey, and the glass are squarish. There, like turn square.
Are they good or not for whiskey?
Okay, there are a couple of ways to. Am I going to do this on this channel? Yes, I am, because it's a legit question. There are two ways you drink whiskey. One is you're appreciating, and one is you're exploring. And if you're exploring, it's got to be one of these. Okay, or like a copita, which is like a very small. Yeah, the Glencairn.
I've got a larger one from the same make.
Okay, so the idea behind this is that it's ideally shaped to get everything going up your nose, right? Because the first thing you're going to do is you're going to smell it. You're going to, with your mouth open, right? And then you're going to take a sip. But the whole thing is that, like, a martini glass, they're terrible, right? Because everything just disappears into the air. All the smells just disappear. That's why you have it for like a Cosmo or something, but nothing else. It concentrates everything at your nose. So that's an exploration glass. But if you're just relaxing with a whiskey and you're going to throw a couple of rocks in it, then yeah, something like that is fine. Because you're not like, yes, I detect honeysuckle, a little bit of barbecued meat, definite peat smoke, and like an oceanic air. No, you're not doing anything. You're just relaxing with a couple of rocks in a glass, right?
Okay.
So then a rocks glass is fine.
A tumbler is very practical. They're durable.
Yeah.
You can put it down and pick it up over and over. You're not going to be worried about it.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Well, I do have the classical glass also from my parents. They have straight glass like this, standard. I used to drink in that, but
if you're just
my
kicking
son
back,
gave me a kit. So he gave me a beautiful kit with 2 glasses, with rocks, rocks in rock, not in plastic.
Whiskey stones.
Whiskey stones, yep. So I still have to put them in the freezer and I have also the coaster that are stone, also. So I was wondering if I put those in the freezer also.
I would try that. Absolutely. Yeah. Why not?
So yep, and I've used the glass once, but for sipping, like I do said, like tonight. So
yeah.
But I do like rum also, which I drink straight also. So I have glass for multi function.
Right. Back when I was drinking scotch, I'd have it with a bit of ice. I really liked it that way. And then I started looking online on how to drink scotch, and they're like, "Oh, there's really no wrong way to drink scotch. I mean, you can have it with a little bit of water. You could have it with a little bit of, I think, ginger ale. You could have it like straight up. But if you drink it with ice, then you're a fucking loser. Excuse my language." But I remember reading that and going, What? There's no way to drink it wrong except
with ice. Because the ice melt and dilute your scotch.
Well, yeah, but I was like, but what? They're saying you can have it with water. Sure, but they're saying you can't have it with ice.
Okay, with water, they mean the quantity of water you put in the scotch.
Well, yeah, it was like
ice. It melts.
So the criticism there is that as the ice melts, you get continued dilution. But maybe you want your whiskey cold.
I don't put ice. I don't put water unless I'm doing a review. But I also don't think that it's my fucking business how you enjoy your whiskey.
Yeah.
Oh, I just said.
Well, too late. It's the third episode. So.
If you bought the bottle, it's your bottle. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like that's the way I like to have water with my whiskey is by sitting in my pool.
That's why I was so surprised. Like, and what's funny is not long after I started drinking scotch, I was out with my boss one day at work, and he ordered scotch neat, and it came with ice, and he's like, "No, I ordered it neat." Yeah. So they took it back, and then they brought a scotch back, and he's like, "I bet they just took the ice out."
Probably.
So he sipped it, and he's like, "Yep, it's cold."
Yeah. Well, see, the thing with scotch, more than with something like bourbon, is scotch is so expensive, right? That a lot of the people who are very into scotch don't want to adulterate it in any way.
Adulterate it?
Yeah, well, right. Like by adding water or ice cubes. But the thing is, it's like practically the entire nation of Scotland drinks their scotch with water.
I guess the
drop
other
a little bit, there's always water in, so
the other thing might be that when you ice a beverage down, you basically dull its flavor. So if you don't like how it tastes, then why are you drinking it?
Yeah, it's the same reason why you drink something like Coke, like ice cold, because the
for
flavors don't become
example,
cloying.
Conventionally, you're supposed to drink white wine quite cold, but I find that if you do, you don't actually taste it. I would
people.
if I like a white wine, I don't want it to be that cold. I'd like to be able to taste it.
I like what Ian the Weblord says here. Personally, I like a cube in my scotch, but it's harder to find the cube in the woods.
You can take a pebble from the river.
Would
work.
Wait, what is that?
Like as a cube of scotch. Like you get ice rock.
Cube of ice?
Yeah.
I'm kind of thinking that throwing a pebble into my expensive whiskey would not get me the effect that I wanted.
No?
The expensive whiskey that you have in the woods.
Yeah. Then you have a cheap whiskey.
Did I show you guys that I got a flask, like a Woods Friendly whiskey flask, but it's like way too big?
No.
I love it. Hold on. First of all, Shawnee says, I've heard ice are drink timers. Drink it down before the ice melts, which is very legit, yes. But Ian says, I think that covers the bushcraft part of the chat.
Using a pebble. Yeah.
This thing that Shawnee says hits on something really kind of important about cocktails, is that cocktails are not designed to be nursed, right? A cocktail is meant to be thrown back in a couple of gulps and it's done. Which is why, like, having a great big rock in one is not that big a deal, because it's not going to be in the glass long enough for it to matter. Your ice cube is not going to dilute your drink too much because it's not going to be there long enough. If you're having a dram of scotch, I keep saying, and you never see it on screen because as soon as there's a screen, I'm just whoop, whoop, whoop. But like, I'll pour myself a dram and it'll last an hour, right? Like Scotch guys will just and interact and let it sit there and whoop and everything for like an hour, for like 3/4 of an ounce, right? So they're very different. Those drinky poos. Grace likes what Ian just said. So do I. Excuse me. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to tell you how to drink your expensive ass scotch. I know I'm not throwing a rock into a glass of like one of my 200 plus bottles. $200 plus, but I don't have 200 bottles.
Okay, I thought you had
No.
past being collection.
Yeah, no. My wife thinks I have, but no.
Because he drinks them before he gets to 200.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scotch is a very intense subject if you want to get into it.
I do get into it.
Oh yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You do a lot. It shows in your other channel.
Yeah.
But I just like the taste.
I like the magic of it.
Yeah, and the problem is, I drink more with the live stream than I drink at home alone.
The live stream, man.
It is the water of life.
Yeah.
But there's something about having the camera on, like while I'm doing this, or like a video chatting or something, because I'm not concentrating on it. It just goes down, and I pour another one. It goes down, and like suddenly I'll have been like, and it sucks because I haven't given the dram the time it requires to really enjoy it. Heartbreaking, really. Heartbreaking.
You know the reason why I opened the Fortress run?
Why?
My son just been accepted in the Canadian Forces.
Which branch?
He's going to be a engineer. Sapeur de combat.
What? He's not doing Navy like his dad did?
Nope. I finished infantry, so it wasn't a reference.
Oh, that's true.
So No, he's going for engineer, but he's already contacted Special Force Regiment, so he's probably going to turn away from the regiment and join the Seesaw.
Okay.
Maybe eventually even be the GTF2.
I tell you something.
Delta Force or SEAL Team 6
Yeah,
for Canada.
I mean, you know that my brother was in JTF2. It's hard to maintain a family while you're in JTF2. That's why his wife said, "No,
Yeah,
you're quitting. We got a child now." So he had to leave JTF2. But
that's the big thing because they're gone a lot of times.
Yeah. They're gone a lot of times, and everything they do, almost your family will never know what you're doing. So she was like, "No, this is done. This is over." So, yeah,
that's one thing, but he wants the adrenaline of everything. He wants to dive. He wants to jump from planes. He wants to do everything.
No, JTF2 is good for him then. Where's my bloody mouse? Oh, there it is. Okay, because I wanted to show this.
Team for the young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ian says, in the woods, I keep the scotch in the cooler, so that offsets no ice, but I would always try an expensive or old scotch nude. Yeah. I don't even put it in the cooler. I drink my scotch room temperature, or I guess on a really stankin' hot day, I would keep the whiskey for like after dark when everything is done and I'm sitting back and there's nothing to do but look, stare into the fire or read a book or something. It's not a thirst quenching drink. It's not like
if it's dark, you ain't reading the book.
No, you got flames going on. It's a nice, embracing, flickering light.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I've tried that quite often.
Got your little headlamp on.
Yeah.
Reading something outdoorsy.
Yeah, and that breaks the ambience with the fire and everything. Yep.
Yeah.
Jess, have you had a look at the Paul Kirtley book?
Yeah, but only really briefly. Thing is, my entire life is on hold except for what we're doing right now. Until this, I'm on a horrifying deadline at work.
Okay.
Horrifying.
So on your holiday, you will have time.
I will have time, and I will look. This deadline has, it's funny because my doctor said I had to minimize my stress, but this deadline has completely destroyed that. But it's still sitting there, and it was right next to me. What did I do with it?
You should highlight the comment of Grace.
Oh. It's interesting to hear you all talk about liquor. I don't drink it myself. Always learn something. Well, you see, let's move on to something else then, because I feel now we've excluded Grace. I feel like we've excluded Grace. But yeah, I'm looking forward to reading that Paul Kirtley book because you've got it, right, Tenenbaum?
Which one is it?
It's the what's it?
Wilderness Axe Skills and Campcraft.
Oh,
yeah. One thing about that book is that it reminds me of just how far book design has come in the past 20 years. Because it used to be that a book with that much color photography in it, yeah, that's the one. It used to be that a book like that would never cost you under like $40-$45 Canadian.
I think they're printing them in China.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in fact, when I was working at Reader's Digest for their books division, like I was doing, health, gardening, stuff like that, books. Because these books were made in China, that had an effect on some of our editorial decisions.
It's quite impressive. You're right. I mean, it's 200 pages of color plates. That's impressive for $27 or whatever.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, right? Like, you would never get that for that price, for the price that we spent 20 years ago. No way.
No, it's $100 of printing in 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's that's the same thing. My book, I for those that knows, I did a repertoire of dive site for Quebec, and the price is astonishing being outside. As soon as we went away from the black and white, it was somewhere in Asia.
Yeah. You can't beat those prices. You can't beat, and we're at the point now where that's where all the infrastructure is. So you can't even beat, like, if you want to buy a carbon fiber mountain bike, you're buying a Chinese-made bike because they're the only, because we've outsourced so much over so much time that all the high-tech factories are over there.
Yeah, and also,
You can't buy a well-made, carbon fiber mountain bike that was made here anymore. You can buy one that was built here, but the parts were all made over there because we don't have the high-tech factories.
That's true, although I think we're finally at the moment where the globalization trend will start to reverse.
I think you might be right. I think I don't have a massive opinion either way on that, but I think you might be right.
Almost by necessity, because there's a supply chain disruption that is going to screw things up for like a year now.
Yeah,
and people are going to want stuff, so people are going to have to find another way to either get stuff or make stuff.
Yeah,
it's just not going to come from China in sufficient quantity to fulfill the demand that people have.
Yeah.
And which drives basically innovation, which drives company to be created. But the problem is here is the expense of the people working. So if you're not doing it by automation, by robots, the people is the driving force.
You'll have to pay them, but you're right. I mean, if it's a choice between a $300 carbon fiber frame from China that you have to wait a year to get, or a $400 or $500 carbon fiber frame from North America that you can buy, people are going to start buying those if they don't want to wait a year.
If you're able to produce it at 400.
Yeah, well, I'm factoring in a much higher labor cost there. I'm saying it's twice as much.
Yeah.
Usually it's at least twice as much. Yeah. It's like,
as I said though, like I don't spend a lot of time thinking about this because I'm someone who is absolutely willing to spend the upcharge on something made locally. But not because I have a problem with Chinese manufacturing. I just made locally right now tends to be small workshops rather than factories. And I love that. If it's like an 8-person atelier, whatever that is in English, pumping out like that studio, that $5,000 base I have sitting over there that I show every few episodes. I love the fact that company is 8 people in Queens. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the reason. If it's a factory-made thing, like my American-made Fender bass, that was $1,250. I would not spend $2,500 on an American factory-made bass, which is why I don't have a Rickenbacker. But I love spending the extra on small outfits, whatever. Because
talking guitar. Have you ever went to the shop in Beauce area where they made famous guitars?
I've never even been to the Beauce.
Yeah, there's a shop there nearby Vallée Jonction, which is in the back. It's a small village. There's a small place, and they make guitar for people. I'm not sure if it's bass or electric guitar. I'm not even sure. I just by chance ended up there, and it's a factory, and they have guitars. I'm not sure. Could that be Gibson? No,
it's probably Godin.
Maybe.
I feel like we should check on Russell. He hasn't moved or said anything.
Oh yeah.
No, his camera is frozen.
Must be, because either that or he's like the stillest man on earth.
No, I think he's
frozen.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, your image is not updating.
No.
Let me do a thing.
Yeah. Do a thing.
So that guitar place has like famous guitar players. Maybe Godin. I'm not sure.
I think it's Godin is huge, but they also have. Anyways, I don't know what it is, so I don't want to be talking too much about it. But
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It's been 20 years. I haven't been around that place. So
hold on, Russel's back. Where's my freaking cursor? There it is. Hello.
There we go.
Can you see me?
Yes.
Yeah,
Can you see me?
you look all like Nixon-like here. I am not a crook. I poured another dram. See, I mean, because I'm doing this, I'm not even noticing that I'm pouring another dram.
Godin is more like Victoriaville.
No, I'm
Just-
down here.
And in Beauce, you have Pèlerin Guitar.
Yeah, I don't even know. Grace saw what I did. Not a crook. What is it? People have to see if their president's a crook, and I am not a crook.
No, this
Isn't
is
he?
this isn't the Nixon. I am not a crook. This is the Jackie Chan.
Oh, sorry.
From the movie. He was in
Mhm.
movie. Jackie Chan was in movies, right?
Yeah,
Rush
Jackie
Hour.
Chan is cool as hell because he did all his own stunts and like. Anyways, I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna do a deep dive on the film
You
stuff.
think wait. You think he's cool as hell because he did his own stunts, but then he like breaks an ankle and the production has to go on halt for like 5 months.
He must be hard to insure.
He's very hard to insure. What I like about Jackie Chan is when he moved into his like environment fighting, where like he'd be fighting off 5 guys and like everything in the room was fair game. Like he didn't do that early, right? He was like straight up Chinese kung fu, and then suddenly 5 guys jumped him, and he's got like he whips a pool table into the action, or like a ping pong table, or a garbage
you
can.
gotta keep coming up with new stuff, right? So
Yeah.
he's
I don't
been
know.
beating the crap out of people on screen for 40 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. I mean, I think my favorite movie of his is a movie called Who Am I, which I don't think a lot of people have seen, where he loses his memory, but right near the end of the movie, he has a fight with these 2 guys on a rooftop, and it's just fucking amazing.
It's devastating, right?
It's amazing because like 2 guys on the rooftop are like, okay, 30 seconds, okay, 30 seconds to beat this guy.
Yeah.
The first guy goes at him and beats the shit out of him. But the great thing is, like the first guy goes at him, and then Jackie Chan gets up and he starts fighting him back, and the second guy has a shot at him, and they fight. But it just goes on and on and on. And I think the wonderful thing is for those people who are in the military here, is what they don't understand that he's military, and he's like, you can beat me all day long, and I'm just gonna get up and keep going at you, right? That's what I get out of the final fight.
Yeah, Jackie's a legend.
Anyway, check it out.
I just want to point out what Ian the Weblord says. It seems hard to find local suppliers when Googling, but I'd certainly rather support local. This drops into a question that I asked on my dormant channel, Jesse Corbet channel.
You have another
in that,
channel.
yeah, I haven't been using it forever. It was just like a vlog. It was called Jesse Corbet because I'm creative that way. Actually, that was the channel where I played with techniques that I would then bring to the Raindance channel. That was sort of because there was no stress. Try stuff. If it went over like a lead balloon, did I get that right? Then who cares? But I had this whole sort of question of what does local mean? Like, because people think of local as in, I will buy stuff made in my state or my nation, buy American, blah, blah, blah. But like to me, if something is made in Kuujjuaq, sure, it's still in my province, but that sure as hell is not local. Whereas if something is made in northern Vermont, that's a really short drive for me. So wouldn't that be local? Right? Like, so to me, everything is like anything within a circle that would encompass like Ottawa, right? That kind of distance to me is
It's a
kind of
question of
local.
connectedness. And after, when you give your dollar to them, who they give their dollar to. And what
Yeah,
are the chances
like,
of that coming back around to benefiting you?
And if you buy across the border, the chances are butt kiss, right? Do you know what I'm saying? But like, because I see local as there's a lot of baggage around that word for me. No, that's not the right word. There are a lot of factors specific to my view of that word. One is close, so very small carbon footprint. Hopefully. 2, if it's a massive factory, I kind of don't care where it is. If it's a small atelier, I want to spend my money there. And even if that is a little further afield, right? New York City, I'll spend my money there. Florida, I'm not going that far.
Just as a counterpoint, if it's a massive factory, maybe it employs 1/5 of the people in your town.
But if it's in my town, then okay, then that's localizing. Hell. But I live in a North American town, so there are very few factories left. Right?
Jesse, I went and I bought the Almar knife to a shop in Chicoutimi.
Mhm.
Everything, the guy is living out of what I buy.
Yeah.
So I'm buying local, but what he sells is not local.
Okay, but it's still a more local purchase than if you bought off of Amazon. And I spent a lot of money on Amazon, by the way. I don't love it. If Amazon disappeared tomorrow, okay, I'd have to spend more on everything, but it wouldn't hurt me the way seeing another mom and pop business disappears, right? I do spend money in mom and pops when I can.
I mean, this is a bit political, but this is sort of the point. I mean, do you want the margins going into Jeff Bezos's pocket or the local guy in Chicoutimi?
I don't think that's political, though.
That's the decision.
I don't think that's political. I think it's a common, no, not a common. I think it's a common decency thing. I want the small businesses to have a chance, especially because Jeff Bezos is just going to buy another dick-shaped rocket.
Yeah, we had that debate on Couteau Quebec, which is a Facebook group where we talk knives.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, and
I would never have thought of such a thing, LT. A knife
you would
group?
Yeah, we even have coins.
Challenge coins?
Yeah. You want to see it?
Sure.
I'll get it, but I'll finish my point. And they were talking about one of the shop downtown. It's a military surplus, which decided to keep a little better knives than your usual Canadian crappy tire junk knife. And they got Benchmade. They got that's where I took my Opinel. They've got all the Opinels, the 11 of them.
Mm-hmm.
They've got handmade knife at $250, at $500. So they've got a good selection now. They have like 100 knives on display. So, and the guys were saying, well, yeah, it's a little more expensive than calling them from Vancouver shop that sells online. But you don't have to pay transport. Mm-hmm. You can handle the knife first. And we have that debate and saying, well, if you don't buy from this guy, is he going to keep an inventory if he's not running? And are you going to have knives in the city? So if you want him to have better price, he has to have quantity.
Yeah.
So if he doesn't order the quantity, we can't have best priced.
Yeah, I get that.
Just for kicks, I bought the Opinel there, and I checked, I passed on sale, and it was like $2 or $3 more at sales. But Sales is a Montreal chain. Well, and now it belongs to somebody else that's outside of Canada. But I mean, it's a Montreal chain, so
yeah,
the surplus is Quebec City.
I think they're owned by a Scandinavian company, aren't they? Because they're Sports X, right?
I think so.
Yeah, they're owned by
Sales and the other sports store that they just opened in Quebec City.
Oh no, it's Atmos File. That's Sports Experts.
Oh, okay, you're a sport expert, but no, the Sales, it's another group,
okay.
And they're not that expensive more, but they have price are not the same.
Yeah,
and that was our biggest knife store in Quebec City. Think about it, Sale with the biggest knife store, and they've shrunk that section. They've got mainly knives in cardboard section, in those cardboard that they put on the
yeah, I know what you're
shelf.
saying. Yeah. Oh man, we're at like 9 people, so I was gonna say, okay, we're gonna shut it down, and then we suddenly got 2 more, so we'll go for another. We'll go until midnight.
Oh yeah,
challenge coin.
Yeah, add the challenge coin. That's nice.
That's a
they
Star
even
Trek
went.
coin. That's a Star Trek coin right there.
Looks like one, right?
Oh yeah, that's a beep beep. Commander Data, come to the
Yeah.
bridge.
I like
Yeah.
it.
The grip
Nice
is funny because there's some heavy duty collectors, not in quantity, in price.
Yeah.
Guys buying $500 knife folders. Like, oh my god.
Yeah. I could not justify that kind of outlay right now.
Basically that folder I showed you, the LMR, is basically at the top level of what I'm at this point paying.
That's like what, 150?
129. Well,
129?
129 plus taxes.
How much was the Shiroguro?
Um,
That was a lot more than that.
if it wasn't a copy, it would have been like $500, but
Oh, so it was a fake. Okay.
it's a fake, it's a clone, and it was like $30 Chinese.
Okay.
So in Canadian dollars, so it wasn't that bad. I was surprised of the quality of the knife, though. It was just strange shape, so I bought it, the two of them.
Yeah.
And when I received it, I was kind of, whoa, that's more
See,
than expected.
LT, you're a lot more exploratory in the knives you buy. You see an interesting shape, so you buy it. Whereas I look for like not old fashioned, but classic shapes that I know.
Yes and no. Okay. If I have to spend $120, $200, I'll wait and I'll think about it.
And I guess what I should have said was, LT, if it's got a blade and a handle, you'll buy it.
Almost.
Like, the knives I like, the knives I would
Does
like
it
to
fit
spend.
in my hand? Yeah.
Yeah. Can I do this? All right, sweet. I'm buying it. The knives that I like to buy are, like Woodlore clones. I'm not going to buy the actual Ray Mears Woodlore. I don't think you get enough for your money. It's an 01 tool steel, blah, blah, blah. It sure as hell ain't worth the money. But that's like my favorite knife style, right?
Yeah.
I like a Woodlore clone. I like that Garberg. I love that Hella Tamagami. I sure as hell can't afford it now, but I would love to own one. Excuse me. I love the F1. The Felikneven F1.
Yeah, they had one at the store.
Just and I've been lucky enough to have one of those because one of my viewers. See,
Remember
Oh.
that one?
yeah, I do, and it's a nice classic looking design. I love the wood of that handle.
Yeah, it's sweet. It said HX Outdoor. Higher quality
Yep.
make, and the steel is Oz 8.
Say,
Yeah, it's an Oz 8.
yeah,
So I could batten with it. It's like 3 mils
yeah.
thick, but not sure. But it's nice looking. The handle is very comfortable. So it would fit what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a nice classic shape. It's a nice, real sort of Epicurean lines. We don't say that in English, do we? Very clean lines, simple as hell.
Nice.
I like nice sheath.
Oh, it's got the button.
But you know what it doesn't have? And this one doesn't have it either, but they need it. You need a hole right there.
Drainage is good.
You need a drainage hole.
But that's an easy fix.
Yeah, it's an easy fix. But it
it's
would have been
been
really
made.
easy to make it that way.
Yep.
Hold on a second. Chris Garland says, as soon as my damn... there we go. There used to be a shop where I lived called 10,000 Villages. Yes, we used to have them here as well, but they were called 10,000 Villages. Funny how that works. Handmade trinkets by artists in developing countries using local materials. I kind of feel that they're no longer around. The 10,000 Villages here are no longer there.
There are a few places with a similar spirit. I'm thinking of Bridgehead Coffee, for example.
Yeah, now that they're back from bankruptcy as well. But the thing is, they really streamlined what they offer, right? They went right back to basics. because they were doing like T-shirts and this and that and boom, 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 and they've cut it right back to tea, coffee, and snacks.
One of the problem we have in Canada that they don't have in the US is the way taxation is for the store. Inventory in the store is eventually going to be taxed.
Yeah.
So we don't have store that keeps 250 of one style of knife, for example.
Yeah.
They'll keep 5, 10, depending on how many they have to order for the company to get the better price.
Yeah.
And hopefully they'll sell it in the 3 months, because the next 3 months they're going to be taxed.
Yeah, because they're doing taxes quarterly.
Yes. And inventory is included.
Yep.
So if they have $70,000 of inventory hasn't turned around, they are paying tax again on it.
Yep.
So they're losing margin.
I didn't realize that they had to pay tax on it again.
Well, there's something like that because they don't keep inventory. If it doesn't turn, it's gone. And that's why we don't have that variety, that different type. You go in a store, in outdoor stores in the States, I mean, you can find like 500 style of knife.
One thing I would like to do is I'd really like to go into an REI.
Yeah.
I'd like to, like, because first of all, MEC used to be great, but it's not anymore, no matter how you slice it.
Okay.
It ain't what it used to be.
Mech?
Yeah.
Mountain Equipment Co-op?
Yeah. It's not the store it used to be. Breaks my heart to say it, but that's where the freaking truth lies.
Well, when they decided to pull out every single make that was related to firearms and military, they kept themselves away from half of their stuff.
Well, that's a long time ago. My big
It's
thing
already a long time ago. Yes,
is ever since they switched from like an outdoorsy company really to like an urban outdoorsy lifestyle, an urban active lifestyle company, is when I kind of stopped spending my money there. They still got some camping and paddling stuff, but there's way too much Lululemon-esque stuff happen. Anyway, it doesn't matter because
they got too much.
What I'm saying is, I would like to walk into an REI with some folding cash in my pocket, because I feel that what I've seen just from their web presence, which may mean nothing about walking into an actual store, I realize that, but just from their web presence, they are what Mech was at its peak, when they still had what was their house brand?
Serratus for the bags.
Right? Yes, that's exactly what I'm thinking about, right?
And that's quite true. There is an REI in just outside Burlington, Vermont.
I'd like to make that trip at some point.
Choice.
Chris Garland is calling it a night. See you later. See you next week.
I should too. It's midnight. 5 o'clock is going to come early. So
okay.
6 o'clock has come early.
Wait. Yeah, you already getting started, eh?
When does 5 o'clock not come early?
Never. But I think LT has to be up at 5. So, all right. Have a good one, mister. We're going to shut it down real soon as well.
See you guys.
Yeah. Good night, LT. Night. Always good. Always good talking to you.
Yeah.
See you later.
Maybe next time I won't have any new knife.
Yeah, right. Like that's ever going to happen.
I'm really trying.
Yeah, like I'm trying not to buy any more whiskey.
You ever look at, there's a Guinness Book of World Records, the guy who owns the most video games ever, and he just collects video games, and his room like LT's there is like wall-to-wall video games, and he hasn't played like half of them. That's what I envision LT with his knives. He hasn't used like half of them. You could put them all up on the walls, and it'd be really exciting.
But LT at least opens the packaging.
Yeah, see that? That's a a cheap mechanic toolbox on wheels. So it's full. It's already full. But I have still knife in boxes that I haven't opened yet.
Okay, so what I just said about at least LT opens the packaging,
I do.
Forget about it.
And I'll use them. It just takes time because they have to spend some time in my pocket. This one, I bought it. I was doing live at your home.
Mm-hmm.
That's 2 years
LT is
ago,
like, I can cut you, but I have to figure out. I have to open the box first and figure out just exactly how it works.
I have to use this knife to open the box to get to that knife.
Yeah, I'd say the packaging is not. I've already looked at them
Right.
and played with them, but I've not worn them.
Yeah. I gotta say, after like a beer and 3 scotches, I'm not gonna be pulling this one out of the sheath again tonight.
No,
Oh, there's time. There's time. We'll talk.
because he's gonna cut himself again,
Yeah.
like he did on the live we were at your home.
On a live, but
On
I
a-
wasn't even. That was even before I had anything to drink.
Yep,
Yeah.
we were getting ready, and he cuts himself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was opening your beer.
Opening the beer.
Yep, the blades downwards towards his own hand.
No. I was doing it by the book, but it's just it. For some reason, when I went puck, I moved the knife this way. I went tuck. Yeah, and I've still got the scar. Oh, piss. Never mind. I can't get it to show up, but I've still got the scar.
It
was
was
weird.
kind of funny.
I still got the
Russell, behave.
Sorry. I was trying
Well,
to.
it was a fun night again.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
Uh,
Nice one.
Grace is asking which video that was. It was a live stream a long time ago.
Couple years ago.
Yeah,
yeah.
a couple of years ago now. Yeah.
If you have one last time, if you have a chance to watch those live stream when Simon and I were at your home, I mean, he lose control all the time.
The best one of those was the one where we gave Serge the backpack.
Yeah, that was at Simon's place, if I remember correctly.
I don't remember. I don't remember if it was at Simo's or if it was here, but yeah, that was back when I could have people like physically here for my live streams.
Oh, yeah.
You know, without.
Before the plague.
Well, on that beautiful memory,
Yeah.
have a nice one.
All right. Good night.
Bye.
Get a LT.
The collector impulse is one that's hard to get over once you get into it. I've
Yeah.
only bought three knives in the last year or so. I'm trying really hard to
I've only bought one.
be better.
I've only bought this one, and it's specifically to do an episode on and then get rid of. If I love it, then I'll buy myself another one. But like, I have the collector gene or instinct or impulse or whatever. I'm very that way. Somewhere
Me too.
I have a collection of foreign currency, for instance, though nothing Swedish yet. But like, I've become so collector averse because I've been so soured by, being on like talkbase.com and seeing guys who have never played a gig in their lives have a room with 20 bases. Right? These guys are lawyers or doctors, so they got the money and they've got 20 bases sitting there, and like all those bases could be on stages being played and enjoyed by people, and what that's done for me for both knives, axes, and axes, by which I mean guitars, bass guitars, is if it never gets used, I don't keep it. I don't want safe queens. I don't want cabinet, whatever the hell the word is for knives that just never go anywhere. If my tools or my instruments are not being used, I don't keep them. I move them on. And like for a guy like me who grew up kind of shit eating poor, there's a real class thing happening there as well. Like I feel that a guy who's got 30 bases, because bases are all over, like a good base is 1,500 or up, right? Maybe $1,000. So guys with like a room full of, American-made Fenders, right? Or whatever. I envy you the financial ability to do that, but I don't envy you the fact that you've got a bunch of bases that never get on stage. And then there are guys, who are professional musicians who are touring or playing the pubs, and they grab a new bass every time they go. It's fine. But the collector doesn't use. They collect. The whiskey collector never opens his bottles, right? Or he flips them. He buys a Pappy Van Winkle 21. He might get it for $300, and then he'll flip it for $400, right? I am so collection averse at this point because I recognize that in myself. And I've been so put off by the people who have $500,000 worth of whatever just sitting there, which I know is not a popular view to take these days.
No, I respect it. I have too much useful stuff that is not being used. Certainly.
We all do that, though. I mean,
Agree with the impulse.
Yeah, we all do it.
We
Absolutely.
get to a stage of our lives, and I don't know, we do that. It might not be bass guitars, but it might be, scotch.
Yep.
We couldn't do that when we were teenagers, but
So, the question I then, yeah, I don't know. Like, for instance, even for whiskeys, like I'm not a collector. Every bottle I have is going to be opened, and I have at least 2 bottles that when I open them, the collectors of the world are going to die. They're going to collectively die, but they're still going to be opened. Like they may be opened on very special occasions.
right there, that's your thumbnail. When I open this bottle, collectors of the world will die.
Yeah,
right there.
Absolutely.
Come on.
Yeah.
We're gonna work this
Yeah.
new channel.
Yeah. But like, purely because I the reason I like, and maybe I get this, like I feel this so deeply because deep down inside I know I'm a collector. You know what I'm saying? Like deep down inside I used to collect so much, and I'm trying so hard not to. Right? So maybe, like the things that piss you off most, if you look at them deep enough, sometimes they're the things that you recognize in yourself and really fucking hate, and really freaking hate. So maybe there's some of that there,
We're well past that.
Yeah, I think we are. This is like the all swearing all the time live stream. Yeah, fucking this, fucking that. We've been drinking booze. Well, we've been drinking booze. Tenenbaum hasn't. He's like maintaining his sort of the classy kind of.
Tenenbaum rarely actually moves. I think once or twice I've seen his mouth move, which could be somebody's hand behind his head going.
Well, Simone suggests that I'm a robot, so maybe that's.
Yeah,
a robot. I think
Tenenbaum's sort of been a little abused tonight for some reason. Robots.
If I drank alcohol, I would be asleep. So I couldn't stay awake to this hour and drink. That's just not.
Yeah, I'd be drunk.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Woo! Here he goes. Yeah. Oh man, we were down to 8 people, and now we're back up to 10.
Huzzah!
I guess we're staying on for another few minutes. Woo! Let me just pour another pint. Done. How did I get on the collecting thing?
We're talking about knives. We're talking about LT's knives.
My next door neighbor is a knife collector. He loves some.
One of these days, we're going to write down the conversation. We went from this to this to this to this to this to this, and like 200 minutes later, I'll be like, "Oh yeah, shit, that makes so much sense."
Oh, you know what? At the beginning of tonight's episode, I was going to be like, "Hey, everybody, watch the narrative telephone that's leaked."
We'll be like cats, aliens, Mars.
The 3 knives I have bought this year are all still in their boxes.
Are they? What did you get?
Well, I got another one of those Spyderco Caribbeans, which is a folding knife, and it is unrustable. It's this nitrogen steel that just doesn't rust, which is amazing.
Yeah.
I got a Falconeven A1X, which is
wow, yeah,
a real nasty version of their A1 with the new scales. And I got one which was kind of a knife I've wanted a long time, a new in box but vintage Gerber coffin handle Bowie, which is a knife they haven't made since about the early 90s.
Yeah.
And this is back when Gerbers were nice. It's a big stainless steel Bowie knife, and it's nice.
Nice.
Race. Which race watch?
I think the narrative telephone, the narrative. Oh, for God's sakes, Jesse! Because I shared that on both of my Facebook pages.
We should have talked about that earlier. That was so much fun. It turned out so well.
That's what I was going to say. Is that I wanted to speak about that earlier.
I mean, the video was a lot of fun. Unfortunately, it's just doing like really shitty on my channel, but I don't care because it was such an awesome video.
Yeah.
Did you get any new subscribers from that?
I don't know. Hold on. I hope so.
Oh yes,
that's a terrible thing to say because that makes it sound like I did it for the subs, and I certainly did not.
Is it on your channel?
Yeah, it's on Russel's. It's on Russel's channel.
Well, how would you? Oh, I see. You might get subscribers coming over. Okay.
Yeah, it was so much fun. It was so much fun, and I can't wait for the next round.
I think I might have gotten a few. Like I've gone up by 21 in the past 28 days, which Russell for you is probably nothing, but for me it's pretty big. I'm just looking for my
pretty big.
When did you put that up?
Sunday, I think. Yeah, Sunday.
Yeah, I got seven on Sunday.
Woohoo! 7.
I call that a win because the previous 1 day gain I got was 4. 3. Yeah, I lost 2 on the 20th of July. Bastards. But yeah,
they don't know you like we know you.
Yeah. That is so true. Shawnee says, I really want to keep things in the house to a minimum, but the husband loves to collect. Oh, what I wanted to say about this is that I feel so bloody owned by my stuff sometimes that's probably informing part of my aversion to collecting.
Yep.
You know, I had this epiphany like last year. It's like,
no, that's Fight Club epiphany. We are owned by our stuff.
We so are, and it just. So every now and again, like I go through and I get rid of off gas a bunch of stuff, but it's like it multiplies every time I turn around and I'm not paying attention. It's like more stuff. What's going on?
Well, it's certainly a burden. I still have stuff in Canada, which is annoying.
Oh yeah. I want to give that back to you. Totally.
Yeah.
I got crap here. Yeah.
And I've been here now for about, a little over 9 years, and I started with very little stuff, and now I have more stuff.
Yeah. You've got a really cool collection of tents. You're like the tent master. Every time I have a tent question, I'm like, hey, Tenenbaum, what do you think about this?
I have a lot of tents, I have a lot of backpacks, and I have a lot of knives.
I still, remember I did that video before the plague hit of I want to do an episode of 1970s era camping stuff.
I've seen a few tents that I was thinking of recommending to you, but I wasn't very sure where you were on that.
Look, everything's on hold until the plague goes away, but I still want to do that video. I still want to get probably a classic external frame back, right? A classic, maybe a brown tag North Face tent or something. Although I think I would spend a lot of money on that. I want it to be cheap stuff, right? But I want to do that. I think that's going to be cool. I'll wear like jeans and a flannel, right? A flannel lumber jacket.
Yes, the St. John's tuxedo.
Yeah. Yeah. I still want to do it. Just got to get some stuffs. Now, I'm not sure about what kind of stove to bring though, because I do feel that my I have a Primus. It's Swedish, so it's probably Primus, right?
Yeah.
I have the Primus Classic. That little one you screw onto the can. That's probably they were probably making that in the 70s.
Oh yeah, those haven't changed much.
So
that or an Optimus or a Trangia, which are all Swedish.
Yeah.
Or you can go with Coleman, which is sort of, ghetto, old school North American.
Yeah. Yeah, I still want to do that episode. When the world changes back again.
Yeah, Jess, you should probably end this soon.
Yeah, I'm thinking of it because I do have to work this morning. Oh man, it's 20 past midnight. All right, let's shut her down.
I'm going to sleep till noon.
I can't, so I envy you that ability.
Oh, I'm still on holiday for now.
Not me. Not till the end of Friday.
Although I have a couple emails to send out. I'll wait till 7 a.m. I'll send out my emails. I'll go to bed.
Because it'll look like you were up early. Oh, man, you're a genius. Okay, to anyone who's still hanging out with us 3 hours and 20 minutes into this live stream, holy crap. I know a couple of people who watch Time Shifted, and they're just going to be like, wait, what? 3 hours? What? But yeah, thanks for hanging out with us. Straight to the
Thanks for hanging out with us.
So I hope to see you guys next week.
I hope to see you guys next week.
Russell. Stay healthy, stay happy,
stay healthy,
safe, and
stay happy
to one another.
Be kind to one another.
But it's time to leave you one and all.
Be kind.
Be soup. If we're stealing each other.
Be good, relax, and eat, stay loose.
I did that in one of my videos. Yes.
Wayne and Schuster.
Like for sure. Good night until
Goodbye till when we meet again.
Okay. Good night.